的对抗或竞争，凡事随缘而化，随遇而安，随机而作，随性而动，是依据完美的人性灵性而生活的人。人先已经清楚地知道自己生命的下一站将到达何处，所以对死亡没有任何的恐惧，可以说已经逃脱了死亡的束缚。
A passionate life and years of burning fervor. Xiefeng. April 23, 2014. Translated by Shidai and edited by Kayer. We had once fallen into despair. Our huge loss in Yunnan had driven us to the end of our rope and we did not know how we would survive. After traveling thousands of kilometers, we moved into our new homes in the Gobi Desert and started a much harder way of life. We are living in simple and broken houses, eating modest meals, drinking the highly concentrated saline alkaline water, and doing the hardest and dirtiest manual labor. We have embarked on a new journey. Having no holidays or rest days, all of Chanyuan Celestials here work every day from morning until night. Some of them have fallen asleep while working, some bleed from their noses while working, and some were too tired to wash their feet and faces and just collapse into bed and fell asleep immediately after supper. We are weeding, cultivating the soils, picking sheep dung for manure, rush planting many trees in the spring, collecting firewood for fuel, and building living rooms and toilets. Every brick and stone are very important to us and mud is the most valuable material. This is a life filled with passion. These are the years of burning fervor. Chanyuan Celestials are working as hard as they can, using their own hands to create their own lives. The trees they planted are sprouting forth buds and leaves while the seedlings of the vegetables are growing quickly. The rubbish has been cleared away and the environment is much cleaner. The wild geese that head south are coming here and the crows of the sparrows are twittering merrily in joyous choruses. Everything is full of energy and vitality. How beautiful the life is. Chanyuan Celestials are all optimists and romantics. Though the life here is very simple, it is always full of a broad range of delights. They laugh and play as they walk. Life here is always full of happiness and laughter. We have suspended our monthly parties, but all sisters and brothers like to joke and frolic with each other. Some of these funny jokes that were told by Chanyuan Celestials made everyone laugh so hard that they spit their food when sitting on the small stools, bricks, and stones during supper. This is a group of carefree children. This is a group of fools who never pursue selfish interests. This is a group of aspiring pillars of the world. This is a group of celestials and Buddhas with no considerations of life and death. The hardest and dirtiest jobs, they do. The most bitter and saltiest water, they drink. They live only for today, no matter what tomorrow brings. They live only in the now, no matter what the future brings. They are happy as fairies, celestials in heaven. They are burning the passion of youth into full play. They forget the time and the bitterness. It gives endless fun to become a creator. It makes our passions run high when devoting ourselves to such lives. Even you are 80 years old, you are still not an old person. Everyone here is in the bloom of youth. Their youth is burning, it is burning completely and thoroughly, it is burning naturally and purely, it is burning so hard that the green trees are growing and beautiful flowers are blooming, it is burning cleanly, tidily, and orderly. Only those who experience this kind of life can truly understand what the life is. Thank the greatest Creator for giving us such an extraordinary life. It is a refinement process, where impurities are removed and gold shines. As fire refines gold, adversity tests virtue. The crops have ripened, and I will gather these full grains into the granary of heaven, to fulfill the mission entrusted to me by the greatest Creator. I am so happy that I feel like I could die. A poem about civil behaviors of Chanyuan Celestials residing in the second home. Xiefeng. July 29, 2011. Let heaven and earth scrutinize my sincere heart, the way of the greatest Creator, I will follow consistently. The teachings of Jesus will be borne in mind, the instructions of Buddha, I will adhere to closely. Lao Tzu's words will be my code of behavior, the sage's remarks will be my motto. My mind is as clear as a mirror to the heaven above and all flesh beneath. What I do and what I say is flawless and bright, like the light shining over everything. I do not desecrate God and Buddha, I revere deity, I do not cause disgrace to ancestors, I maintain the way. What I say shall serve the interest of the public, what I do shall be admired by deity and demon alike. I always respect the elderly and love the young, I sympathize with the weak, I shall have mercy. I shall practice economy in everything, I shall value labor involved in each inch of silk. I shall have a clean and tidy place to live in, I shall protect flowers and birds, I shall have a clean and beautiful soul. I shall not contend with others for profits, I shall have noble character and consider others' interests first. I shall be thrifty and diligent, and make the greatest contribution. I do not envy luxury and extravagance, I do not amass wealth by unfair means. I protect animal and do not eat wild life, and refrain from meat to avoid harm of character. All grass and wood are my relatives and friends, all birds and insects will accompany my life. I do not engage in gossips, and probe into privacies, I shall be a man of integrity, sticking to the root and the way. I do not envy others' happiness, and do not rejoice at others' troubles. I shall respect women, riding roughshod over women is not allowed in the home. I will be civil in speech and do not use vulgar words. I shall not violate the statutes of the country and shall refrain from being a careerist. I shall show comedy to my neighbor in case of unpleasantness between us and shall not lose temper over small gains. I shall welcome guests with smiles, I shall be a hospitable and reasonable host. I shall not make noise in the quiet of night, I shall speak quietly and do not disturb peace and tranquility. In case of resentment, I shall quickly look into my own conscience, I shall not shift blames onto others but find out where I have gone wrong. I shall not engage in scheming, I shall have a pure and clean mind and body, if I envy others there will be disasters. I shall treasure all properties in the home, and avoid extravagance and waste, which is forbidden by God. I shall strive for perfection in everything I do, one will be worthless trash if he makes things in a rough and slipshod manner. I shall work hard at study, and solve puzzles, and build up experience and wisdom. A harmonious collective shall avoid factions, and people should be treated equally no matter where they come from. The greatest creator is supreme in the vast and boundless universe, hold the greatest creator in esteem and awe. Make confession and prayer, cleanse the soul, follow the guide, and the road ahead will be bright and smooth. Of all things, only life is true, proceed as if in a game and the cultivation of celestial being and the way will succeed. Walk on the way of nature, love all life beings, series of the bright spots of the second home, 4. Ishin. January 16, 2014. Translated by Tongshin and edited by Kair. The core principles of Lifechanyuan are, revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature, and walk on the way of the greatest creator. When seeing these values of Lifechanyuan for the first time, I thought, why use the word revere? Are the greatest creator, Chinese for, the heaven, life, and nature not very lovely? They could be very kind, so why use revere, which means respect, stay away with some fears? This did not sound good and I did not really like it. Later when I went more deeply, I understood the reason behind it. Other than the word revere, there is no more perfect word to use that I remember reading part of an article which said that people who have reverence in their hearts are the very best people. I was surprised, why was it reverence but not mercy, tolerance, or love? I later understood that people who have reverence in their hearts, by very definition, must be merciful and tolerant, and love all life beings. Their hearts are soft and delicate and their love is broad and pure. The author must have found the secret. The greatest creator of Lifechanyuan is the Almighty Creator who created the universe and all life beings. He is the heaven and the God that people refer to in daily life, or that which is often understood as nature. The greatest creator created the universe, life, and nature, and he loves every life being very much and manages the running of the universe and the birth, sublimation, and death of all life beings through Tao. He creates people, lets us live on earth, gives us free will to do what we like, and shows his tremendous love. If we can get along well with each other and love and protect the beauty of nature, the greatest creator will be very happy, because his will is to let every life being live a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life. The second home of Lifechanyuan walks on the way of the greatest creator and follows his will, loves all life beings, and exists in harmony with all lives in nature, whether they are grass, mice, birds, snakes, or any others. 4 years ago, when we arrived in the first branch in Anning, we found mice in the storeroom, so some people asked our guide if we needed to buy rat poison or mousetraps. Xiefeng said, "Mice are also lives, they have their right to live, and they also have their families, but they are just staying in the wrong places." Then he tried to communicate with the mice, saying, "We have recently moved in here, and although you were created by the greatest creator and bestowed with your way of living, you would be better off living in a place without people. Now you came and destroyed our food and supplies, and this seriously affected our daily lives, so why not go to a place far away where we will not interfere with each other but we will get along in harmony?" Then our people caught these mice carefully and moved them to a place far away from us, without hurting any of them. In 2011, we planted several acres of wheat in our third branch in Chuxiong. When they ripened, many birds came and sang happily, but also ate lots of our wheat. Some of our sisters complained to the guide, "You see, so much wheat grew and ripened after our hard work, but now it is being eaten by the birds." Our guide smiled and said, "It is good that they are eating, now we can hear the singing of birds." There are about 10 persimmon trees on the mountain slopes of the third branch, and when they turn red in autumn, small birds learn it first and eat the sweetest and reddest parts of them, and many times we ate the fruits after they had been bitten by the birds. We never pick up all the fruits, but we leave some specially for the birds. Therefore, the singing of birds can be heard everywhere in our third branch, plus flowers are blooming all over our garden. It is really a place full of flower fragrance and bird songs. These lovely small life beings are never afraid of us, they stand in front of you, tilt their heads, and look at you. At that moment you can feel how awesome it is to be harmonious with nature. In the fourth branch in Linsang, as most of the trees were eucalyptus and were planted by previous landlords, there were almost no birds at first. Later we planted many other trees such as ornamental trees and fruit trees, and also all kinds of different flowers. We even built many small bird houses for them, putting some millets on them before their windows, and then they came. Now you can see birds flying freely and happily in the garden. When I first came to fourth branch last May, I saw a group of birds flying up and down in the flowers before my window, then later I knew they were eating the ripe seeds that I in the harvest season. We had a whole slope of turnips, way too many to eat, so most of them flowered. Our guide suggested that we leave them so that the bees and birds would have enough food. We also made several beehives specifically for bees, and although we have not had any honey yet, we let these lovely life beings enjoy their own fruit first. We also built a bird park, specifically in the fourth branch, and there are 7 or 8 kinds of birds that live there happily. Pigeons walk and fly freely in the park with no fears at all. We even built a glass flower villa for some delicate flowers, and everyone treats all flowers and diverse plants with love from our hearts. In the view ponds there are some fishes. One sister is responsible for taking care of and feeding them, another sister is responsible for changing the water and cleaning the pond for them. Humans and all life beings are trying to live in the second home while demonstrating their most natural, civilized, and beautiful states, because this is a home of love and beauty. We have many examples of revere life, love plants and animals in the second home. For example, if we find snakes, we catch them and take them to the mountains. If the grass or weeds grow too high on the slope, we cut them without hurting their roots, because we know that treating other lives kindly is treating ourselves kindly. Everything created by the greatest creator is ordered, and every life being walks their own way. The life and production of human beings cannot deprive the same rights to other lives and cannot destroy the balance of nature. Because of the value, revere life, revere nature, in Lifechanyuan, the life and production of the second home matches the principle of ecological civilization, create the environment of realizing the broad and deep harmony between people and society, and people and nature.
No classes, no difference between urban and rural areas, physical and mental work, workers and peasants. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 16. Ishian. January 28, 2014. Translated by Fengxing and edited by Kayer. From the day we went from a primitive society to a slave society, classes appeared and all the exploitation and oppression we now see also began. In order to resist exploitation and oppression and to chase for a better and more peaceful life, mankind has made countless efforts and has struggled to transform theory into practice, but this has been a process full of pain, bitterness, blood, and tears. Today, people's ideal of building up a utopian and unified society has come true with the practice of the second home of Lifechanyuan. In the second home, everyone is equal. There are no classes, no exploitation, no oppression, and everybody is a laborer. No matter what kind of work one does, they are respected and loved by all people, and they can enjoy everything this big family has to offer. In the second home, I have never found anyone who would be considered to be of a management class or of a managed-ruled class. The guide is responsible for spiritual guidance. He states the reason for his understandings and his requirements or thoughts, but each individual may decide what to accept based on their own perceptions. The guide has never imposed his will upon any member. Production and daily life in the second home are under the overall guidance of the director. For example, if some work needs to be done, anyone can volunteer to do it, but if no one does, the director will either ask some people or will do it himself. The director can never order people to do anything. He can only consult or coordinate with members in a friendly manner. In the second home, the guide and the director enjoy no special treatment or benefits. On the contrary, they regard themselves as servants of the community. When danger or difficulties come, they are the first to make sacrifices, but when times are good, they stand behind. They eat the same food, live in the same rooms, and line up with others for meals. In other words, they are absolutely equal to all other members of the community. There are meritorious individuals in the second home, members who have greatly contributed material wealth, talents, or wisdom to the building of the community. Therefore, they are naturally respected by people, but all meritorious people are clearly aware of that everything they have done is for the purpose of perfecting their own life quality, for repaying their own debts in this and past lives, and for accumulating the treasure for a beautiful life future. Through the platform of the second home, they have been given good opportunities to realize their dreams, and so they are all humble and never feel that they are superior to any others. In the second home, there are no classes of management and labor, nor are there differences between mental labor and physical labor. Anyone who serves the community is an equal laborer, and their services are for all members, so there are no differences between noble and humble workers. The guide and the directors are equal to all other Chanyuan celestials. All jobs, such as washing, cooking, growing vegetables, tending fires, building houses, making roads, cleaning, managing websites, planting grass and flowers, tending fruit trees, raising chickens and ducks, managing the warehouse, and so on, are equal in this home, and there are absolutely no differences between noble ones and menial ones. Everyone admires, respects, and loves those who work carefully and always strive for first-class work, bear before enjoying, have beautiful soul gardens, are diligent, civilized, and polite, and who always manifest their qualities of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, integrity, and honesty, and who always bring joy, freedom, and happiness to others. In fact, everyone tries to become such a person because this is to enhance their life quality, and it is for their ultimate ideal of climbing to the highest realms of life and life. No classes, no differences between urban and rural areas, physical labor and mental labor, no higher or lower jobs. Everyone's labor value is fully acknowledged. Everyone is treated fairly and justly. Everyone's needs are satisfied, and everyone can enjoy a happy life. Everyone is equal. A dream which has been longed for by thousands of people has already come true in the second home.
A beautiful and harmonious Xanadu series of the bright spots of the second home, 1. Yixin. January 13, 2014. Translated by Tongxin and edited by Kayer. Is it not one's final goal to live on earth for a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life? People are making efforts every day, every month, and every year. Why? Are they not working for an ideal life? An ideal life, people have chased for thousands of years, so where is it? Sometimes we glanced at it from an immortal story, but it seemed too far to be touched. Poet Tao Yuanming, famous poet from China's East Jin dynasty, told us, at a place full of fallen petals, there is a Xanadu with graceful environment, natural, simple, and kind people, everybody is happy, free, and grateful. When life is so stressful that we cannot breathe, we hope so much for a place where we need not worry about food, clothing, shelter, or transportation, where we have no concerns over birth, aging, sickness, or death, and where we have no anxiety for money, houses, cars, and the like, but we can live simply and work happily. We work not for money, but for our interests and special talents, and we can do that which we like, but not what we dislike. When we feel nervous, tired, and exhausted from all kinds of personal relationships, how much we hope for a place where people get along with each other simply, and always feel relaxed and free. Even if we eat only simple foods, we do it in the company of good friends. When we breathe polluted air and eat food of inferior quality, how much we hope there is a place where we can cultivate our own vegetables, get up with the first sunshine, fall asleep along when the sun sets, and where we plant the purest fruits and vegetables, breathe the freshest air, and eat the most natural and healthy foods. When we look at the city surrounded by high buildings made of reinforced concrete, how much we long for a nice place in a forest, on an open field, or at the seaside, where there is a simple but beautiful courtyard, and we can be so close to nature that we can enjoy a natural and serene life and our souls can fly. Is there any place like this? Yes, there is. It is the second home, now new oasis for life, of Lifechanyuan. The second home is the Xanadu people have dreamed of for thousands of years. It does not exist in the immortal stories, nor in the literary creations of poets such as Tao Yuanming either, but in real life on the land of China, so close and clear that it can be touched. In the past several years, founder of the second home, Xiefeng has led Chanyuan Celestials and created 3 Xanadus in Yunnan, China with their diligence, wisdom, time, and money. The serene first branch in Anning, the graceful third branch in Chuxiong and the generous fourth branch in Linsang. The second home is the new life mode for human beings, the most ideal lifestyle for mankind, and the Xanadu-like environment is just one of her characteristics. A beautiful environment needs beautiful souls to create it, because only beautiful souls can create a beautiful, natural, and human environment. Therefore, another bright spot of the second home is, the most important task is to perfect one's soul garden. The most important task is to perfect one's soul garden, series of the bright spots of the second home, 2. Yixin. January 14, 2014. Translated by Tongxin and edited by Kair. In the second home, everything is wonderful and desirable, so how is this realized and maintained so well? The picture of Xanadu in each person's heart could be different and unique, but at least 2 points are the same. One is the graceful, serene, clean, tidy, and natural environment, with abundant food, no worries, quarrels, troubles, or noise, and the other is the harmonious human environment. People are simple, kind, friendly, and diligent. There is no mutual guarding among people, but only family-like love and sharing from their hearts. When you calm down, you may think, what are the sources of your worries, troubles, and pain? Do they come from Haidi's earthquake, Philippines typhoon, the coldness of North America, extreme heat of Australia, or the poverty in Africa and the conflicts in the Middle East? Probably not. Are they because you do not have enough food to eat, clothes to wear, or a place to sleep? These are not likely the reasons either. They are mostly coming from the chatter of family and relatives, the gossip between neighbors, the stress and competition among companies, and the misunderstandings among friends and co-workers. These are the main elements that bring out your worries and troubles and that even exhaust you. There are those who say, man has a selfish nature. As long as there are people, there are contradictions, fights, and conflicts, therefore troubles and pains cannot be avoided. So how does this Xanadu, the second home, achieve such deep harmony among people, and how does it become a home without contradictions and conflicts? The answer is to beautify your soul garden. All Chanyuan celestials living in the community consider this to be their number one priority and their most important task. People's words and actions are led by their consciousness, while consciousness is relatively abstract. If we look at consciousness as a garden, it will be much easier to understand. Sincerity, kindness, love, beauty, honesty, and trust are beautiful flowers growing in our soul gardens, and they make our qualities shine like diamonds, but jealousy, complaining, selfishness, comparison, laziness, and waste are weeds living in our soul gardens, and they prevent us from being happy. The flowers in soul gardens are gratitude, praise, sincerity, respect, maintaining faith, honesty, kindness, diligence, simplicity, flexibility, bravery, unselfishness, devotion, service, care, tolerance, consideration, compassion, mercy, and the like. The weeds in our soul gardens are jealousy, hostility, outrage, contention, complaining, comparison, hatred, fear, anxiety, falsity, wickedness, ugliness, dishonesty, hypocrisy, greed, possession, forced occupation, desire to excel over others, justification, and other weeds and barnyard grasses. Ask yourself, would you prefer to stay with those who have beautiful flowers in their soul gardens, or with those who have more ugly weeds? Every Chanyuan celestial in the second home lives their life according to Chanyuan values. It is much easier to find the weeds in this collective life than in traditional secular society. Through continuous beautification of one's soul garden, the more beautiful your garden becomes, the more happiness and freedom you will enjoy. For married couples, love and respect increases, while mutual emotional torture and complaining decreases. For parents and children, understanding increases, and the generation gap slowly fades away. For brothers and sisters and for peers, praise and friendship increase, as complaining and jealousy are soon forgotten. In Kanahana family, the fifth branch of the second home, they have a value of, cultivate one's heart before cultivating fields, which has the same meaning as beautifying one's soul garden. When one's soul is pure, the field is pure. When one's heart is beautiful, the world is beautiful. So the basis for building up a beautiful China must also be putting beautiful soul gardens first. Another reason for purifying your soul garden is that you can sublimate your life quality through such purification. Besides harvesting a happier present life, you also lay the foundation of sublimating your life to higher life space. When you come to the second home, you feel the family-like warmness and love from everyone here. Everybody smiles at you, people offer any help you need quickly, the grounds are neat, tidy, clean, and beautiful everywhere. People get along with each other very well, and happiness, harmony, and love are always in the air. The more deeply you integrate into this home, the happier and freer you become. Therefore, almost no Chanyuan celestial would want to go back home once they live in the second home. The longer they live here, the less they would like to leave. These are all fruits from beautifying the soul garden. In the second home, as your soul garden becomes more perfect, you gain more and more freedom and happiness. Nobody manages you, you are the boss in the field for which you are responsible, and you may utilize your talents as much as you can, because the management of the second home is Paradise Management. Paradise Management, Series of the Bright Spots of the Second Home, 3. Yixin. January 15, 2014. Translated by Tongxin and edited by Kair. Besides the serene, beautiful, and natural environment, and the harmonious human environment, the second home has another important characteristic: freedom. Freedom is not having everything your own way and doing whatever you want, but doing what you like freely and never over the rules. In the second home, the rules are found in Chanyuan values, mainly stated in 800 values for the new era human beings. If you are totally resonant with Chanyuan values, then you will experience complete freedom in the second home. No one will manage you, but you will do whatever you do in the right way. Otherwise, if you are not resonant with Chanyuan values, you will feel restricted everywhere, and it will seem very easy for you to make mistakes. So this is Paradise Management, Also called holographic management. There is no management, but management is everywhere. There are no requirements or rules, but requirements and rules are everywhere. In paradise management, there are no managers. Our guide, Xiefeng, is only responsible for guidance towards spiritual growth, and the branch director is only responsible for the overall arrangement of production and daily life. Both the guide and the branch director treat themselves as servants for all the residents. Everyone chooses their job according to their interest and ability, and how hard and heavy the work is will depend upon their health and energy level. Of course, one should never be lazy or slip away from doing the work. From the storehouse, anything can be taken freely, on the basis of need and never wasted. In the morning, one can normally choose their time to wake up, while some residents are not allowed to do so. This is not to divide people into different castes, but according to the specific needs and requirements of the situations. It depends on your constant performance and the specific needs for that day. In this home, laziness is the biggest enemy, so it is never tolerated. In the second home, as your soul garden becomes more perfect, when you always emit these beautiful qualities of sincerity, kindness, love, beauty, honesty, and trust, when you do your job the best that you can, when you always bring happiness, freedom, and blessing to the brothers and sisters, when you care and love this big family wholeheartedly, when you contribute yourself first and put enjoyment second, when you own nothing but contribute everything you have to the community, when you take yourself as humble grass, when you cannot sense the management at all, you will experience a very free and happy life here. In your working field, you are the Superman, whatever you say goes and people will cooperate with you. But of course, if anything goes wrong, you will be the one who takes the full responsibility. It looks perfect, but can this work well in reality? Yes, but there are some conditions which must be met for implementing paradise management. The first is that it must have guidance from a saint, someone who can stimulate people's best qualities, such as sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, trust, and honesty. The second is that it needs an effective program on life and production such that everyone is responsible for a certain job. The third is that through soul garden beautification, everyone turns to be highly civilized and would like to do their jobs the best way they can. Finally, there are no administrators, everyone is the direct creator of wealth, include material wealth, spiritual wealth, and soul wealth. Paradise management creates a culture of flowers blooming in a riot of colors. As in the Chinese idiom, 8 immortals crossing the sea, each one shows his or her special prowess, one can bring out their abilities, characters, and talents to their fullest, on a basis of no coercion or hurt to others. Since the core values of Lifechanyuan are, revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature, and walk on the way of the greatest creator, the core meaning of, the way of the greatest creator, is, love and the way of nature. The largest eco-village in China, series of the bright spots of the second home, 5. Yixin. January 17, 2014. Translated by Ailian and edited by Kayer. After learning that the second home was suffering the terrible persecution and illegal disbandment, Jen launched the Avaz petition for us, the title of which is, Chinese President Xi Jinping, Save the Largest Eco-Village in China. Is the second home the largest eco-village in China? As far as I know, the Chinese central government advocates the development of ecological civilization. Currently, there are all sizes and sorts of eco-villages are springing up throughout China. Some projects invested more than 1 billion Chinese yuan. But why the second home is the largest eco-village in China? Let us have a look the information on Baidu. The concept of eco-village, as defined by the Global Eco-Village Network, says that an eco-village can be developed in both countryside and urban areas. The core qualities of an eco-village is to change the lifestyle and that all the daily needs can be obtained from with walking distance. Jen also defines an eco-village from social, ecological, cultural, and spiritual aspects. On social aspect, residents in the eco-villages share a strong sense of belonging, they feel each other's mutual support and help. Also, they fully involve themselves in the decision-making process. On the ecological aspect, they fully experience the connection with nature and enjoy their interaction with soil, water, wind, plants, and animals. On the cultural and spiritual aspect, most eco-villages do not particularly have their focus on specific spiritual practices. They respect all lives and express their culture in their own way. They also respect spiritually diverse pursuits. The eco-villages in Western countries really care about sustainable living and how economic development could benefit the eco-villages, and they focus more on green production and self-sufficient. They also pay a lot of attention to the application of modern technology. The eco-village concept and manifestation in China is geared more to focus on practical production modes such as ecological engineering, i.e., planting, breeding, and it emphasizes economy, ecology, and social benefit. We can see from the above descriptions that the concepts and emphases of eco-villages are totally different between China and Western countries. In Western countries, an eco-village means a group of people who have the same belief and values living together voluntarily. The core quality is their changed lifestyle. People support and help each other, and people fully experience their connection and interaction with nature. Usually, these eco-villages have good cultural and spiritual unity. However, the eco-villages in China are more like ecological projects guided by the government. If an ecological project is successful, then it becomes a vanity project. Most importantly, whether it is a good ecological project or not is valued by the economic benefit. Ecological development has been treated as a selling point and a luxury. The second home reveres life and Mother Nature. In daily life, all members care about each other as well as about the animals and plants. We make the most use of everything and everyone can fully display their talents. People in the second home share the same belief. We work together and comply the same values. And all the resources are shared within the community. This kind of lifestyle might derive the least from Mother Nature, but you can feel great happiness. We treat the second home as an eco-village because we revere life and revere Mother Nature. Our life mode and our planning for the future are consistent with the ecological value of people live in harmony with nature, as well as permaculture core values. And it is also in keeping with the Chinese ecological civilization development value of respect nature, comply with nature, protect nature, and develop in a sustainable way. In addition, it is in line with the ideal of beautiful China, as is advocated by the Party Central Committee. Everywhere we went, we worked very hard to improve our soil and plant natural and non-pollution vegetables. We planted flowers and trees, and turned our environment into a beautiful and tidy place. Birds sing and flowers release their fragrance everywhere within the community, and almost everyone living in the second home likes this kind of environment and living atmosphere. In March 2013, 2 permaculture experts visited the second home. They investigated our community and recognized our efforts to incorporate ecologically sustainable development. While with us, they gave us some suggestions. After that, we made numerous improvements in composting, mulching, excrement management, and in waste and sewage management. In November 2013, Michio Funahashi, a Gen board member and the president of Genoa, visited the first and fourth branch of the second home, and had deep conversations with Xiafeng, the founder of Lifechanyuan. They found Lifechanyuan and Kanahana families share many of the same values. For example, we both place soul garden purification on the first priority and focus a lot on spiritual improvement. Furthermore, both communities produce most of their food ingredients from within their own vegetable gardens. All community matters are well divided and distributed among our members without any need for supervision or management. The lifestyles are healthy and natural, and both Lifechanyuan and Kanahana family revere nature and learn from nature in daily life. During her stay, Michio also gave us a presentation on how to make and use Kanahana microorganisms. She suggested that we could produce Lifechanyuan microorganisms. It would have huge benefit for improving soil, reducing the odors from chicken manure and human waste, helping the plants grow well, fermentation, and regulating the physiological function of human body. In addition, Lifechanyuan and Kanahana family have reached a high degree of consensus on macro development goals. In November 11, 2013, the second home of Lifechanyuan and Kanahana family officially united into one big family. Also, the second home became a Gen member this year. So in this sense, the second home has become the model of Chinese ecological civilization construction, and it is also the largest eco-village in China. The elderly and children are taken care by the community. Series of the bright spots of the second home. 6. Yixin. January 20, 2014. Translated by Tongxin and edited by Kair. People in modern society are very stressed, but where does this stress come from? It is so difficult to support a family, from food, clothes, shelter, and transportation, to birth, nursing the elderly, sickness, and death, and which of these do not require money? Many people earn and save only enough money for their basic living expenses, and if they want to move to a nicer apartment, they cannot afford it even they save money for most of their lives. If anything bad happens, such as someone having an accident or getting sick, the whole family will fall into a crisis. Although our country is working hard on basic welfare such as medical insurance and compulsory education, we might ask which of these have solved the problems at their roots. People on welfare can only afford basic foods, and medical insurance only reimburses small parts of medical expenses, so if someone succumbs to a very serious illness, nobody can handle it. The compulsory education system only offers free tuition fees, but other costs become more expensive. For all ordinary people who want to live a peaceful and comfortable life, it is too difficult. The number of empty nest seniors is increasing quickly. Such phenomena do not happen because their children do not want to accompany them, but because they work far away from their hometowns and cannot take on the responsibility. The problem of stay-at-home children is also serious because, although no parents would not like to take care of their children, they cannot do it because of their work either. These are deep pains in many people's hearts. After 1 year's hard work, everyone wants to go back home and see their families, but the special rush of Chinese Spring Festival carries more difficulties and expectations of them. How can the lives of the aged be well cared for, including the comfort of their spirits and souls? How can all children be well educated and grow with complete health of their bodies, hearts, and souls? The second home has a unique way of ensuring that all children and aged people be completely cared for. The aged need not worry about not having hot food, a warm house, lack of nursing in case they get sick or nobody helps them when they need it, and no need to worry that there is no company when they feel lonely. All such needs are considered and solved in the new life mode, and 4 years of practice in the second home has proven its effectiveness. Children do not need to worry that they have no friends except their parents and grandparents after school, or too much homework to finish, and parents need not worry that their children will learn bad habits in school or with bad friends or elsewhere, because this new life procedure of the community completely ensures the healthy growth of all children with regard to their bodies, hearts, and souls. Usually, the elderly are responsible for some light labor work, such as cleaning, chopping firewood, making fires, picking vegetables, and the like. They work very hard and are models for our young people, and they have very big hearts and love everyone in this big family. They bring us happy faces and kind greetings every day, and living with them in this big family is like living together with our own parents and grandparents, which makes us feel very warm and harmonious. They also feel very happy in this home, just doing one job that is within their capability, and doing it the best that they can. All younger residents and children also respect and love them very much. Every day you can see the youngsters doing their labor work, and in their leisure time, surfing the internet in the computer room, practicing singing and dancing with their brothers and sisters, having fun playing games with each other, and chatting. These fulfill their spiritual lives and the lives of their souls very much. The lives and studies of the children are managed by the community school. Children eat food, attend parties, play games together with each other, and have their own zone for study and accommodation. Presently, the lessons in our community education system cover the grades from preschool to middle school, and the contents the kids study are the same as what the national compulsory education system requires, plus we add 2 special lessons, the knowledge of the greatest creator, and the knowledge of how to beautify the soul garden. All teachers are Chanyuan celestials who have university backgrounds, and most of them have taught before. Based on to the specific requirement of each child, teachers choose the suitable grade and lessons for them. In the education plan of the community, there will be a high school and a university in the future. Actually, whether people outside the community admit this or not, the second home of Lifechanyuan is a university itself, a university on life and life that in addition to the knowledge from textbooks, we also pay much attention to improving the children's actual life skills and working abilities. For example, older children wash all clothes in the community, clean bowls in the kitchen, cut vegetables, and make food. Older boys do some labor work to exercise their bodies and older girls learn to sew. They usually learn each life skill for at least 2 months, usually during their leisure time on weekends. Both the elderly and the children are good at singing and dancing, and at the monthly parties, they always bring us many surprises with happiness and love. This is a harmonious and warm family. Children are joyful, young people are happy, and the elderly enjoy their golden years. Actually, everyone here in this big family is as happy, joyful, and free as a person can be, and every member feels very blessed to live in the second home in this life. Illnesses are decreasing and crimes are disappearing. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 7. Yixin. January 21, 2014. Translated by Somlong and edited by Kair. The thing that everyone worries about most is having illness. If we do not have money, we can still be happy, but when we get sick, not only do we need to spend money on medical bills, but we also need to bear the pain of the illness, and this is especially true for the elderly. It is always better for the old to not have illness because as one advances in years and the physical body ages naturally, it becomes increasingly difficult to recover. There are many reasons why people get sick, but the most common ones are fatigue and anger, or both. However, due to the stresses and anxieties in life, it is impossible for one to maintain a constant, happy mood or keep one's labor to a moderate level. So, as many have said, the unhappy things in one's life are 9/10. In traditional family life, things are actually that way, but in the second home, it is, the happy things in one's life are 9/10, and the unhappy things are 1/10, because the second home has guaranteed each member's shelter, meals, accommodations, transportation, birth, illness and so on. One can adjust their workload according to their physical condition, however, neither laziness nor trick playing are allowed, nor is excessive work. Having a moderate amount of labor is good for health. In the meantime, with the beautification of each member's soul garden, and each one bringing the good qualities of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, trust, and honesty into full play and only praising others without blaming them, everyone can maintain a happy mood. The root of an illness comes from one's soul. The happy ones and those with perfect souls do not normally get sick, so the celestials who live in the second home feel happier and happier as their souls become more perfect. Those who were ill have gradually recovered, those who were weak have become stronger, those who had eating disorders are to enjoying food, and many people's beer bellies have disappeared. In the second home, everyone breathes fresh air, drinks pure spring water, and eats the fresh vegetables picked from our gardens. There are also delicious meals cooked by loving chefs, and our supply of chicken eggs and duck eggs, average 3 eggs per person per day, is more than we can consume. The environment in which we live is very clean and tidy with flowers scenting and birds twittering. Each member participates in laboring but does not work too much, and each one has a private bedroom which ensures the absolute relaxation of their bodies and souls, and it also ensures the quantity and quality of their sleep. There are also many games and entertainment events in the second home, and each member can not only enjoy the happiness of their lives, but we each become more open-minded, generous, and become much less afraid of sacrificing our own personal interests. We do not worry about our difficulties because we know that life is only a journey and a game. The new lifestyle of the second home can improve its members' health, and this is workable and can be proven in reality. One celestial who had cancer last year has almost recovered, and another one who was suffering from gallstones has recovered without having surgery. There is also a celestial who has been suffering from enteritis for several years, but is now getting better and better, and a few celestials who had hypertension, high blood pressure, now have smiles on their faces every day. Two seniors who are each more than 80 years old are getting healthier and have sufficient stamina to not only work in the vegetable garden, but also to saw firewood for the kitchen. The magic part of the second home is that everyone loves each other and gets along with everyone in harmony. We revere the greatest creator, life, and nature. We walk on the way of the greatest creator. Each member comes to cultivate themselves and improve their life quality, therefore, each one is trying to bring happiness, joy, and freedom to others while showing their own sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, trust, and honesty. Each member is contributing their time, money, talents, wisdom, and abilities to serve the community and make it better as they also accumulate merits for themselves. So how could crimes happen in this kind of home? They cannot. In this home, illnesses are decreasing and crimes have disappeared.
Chasing for the best quality of work. Series of the bright spots of the second home. 8. Ishian, January 21st, 2014. Translated by Tongshin and edited by Kair. There is a value in the second home that is, whatever your job is, do it the best way you can. Many times, our guide has mentioned his grandmother, who always impressed him with her tidiness. She always cleaned the house very carefully and kept it very tidy, and she especially never ignored any small details that most people would not have even noticed, like the corners under the backs of the tables. This draws my respect immediately. My heart says that she is an elegant lady, a person who chases after the best quality, and one who deserves a first-class life. Do things carefully and patiently, strive for constant excellence, and chase for a high class of quality. Such spirit is what I lacked and many members in the second home also lacked before. Therefore, the guide always reminds us in our daily lives and work that, whatever you do, try to do it in the best way you can. For example, when I first reached the third branch, I was scheduled to clean the public toilets beside the duck pond. After I finished, the guide came to have a look and commented that the cement on the rocks were not cleaned. Oh, I had not noticed that. But once the guide pointed it out, it became quite obvious to me. So, what should I do now? Find a way out. I found a small file and a hammer from the tool room, plus some steel wool. I then hit the cement, which could have been stuck on the bricks for many years, lightly, and I found that it was as if something in my heart was also cleaned. Ever since that time, whenever I see cement or dirt on marble bricks, I want to clean them thoroughly. I am not one who does things quickly, and sometimes I just want to finish my work in a hurry. The thought of just finish it keeps coming up. Later, I think it through from another angle. In the second home, we do not need to worry about anything. There is no pressure with regards to food, clothing, shelter, or transportation, and no worries about birth, aging, sickness, or death, and no troubles about salaries or being pushed by management. My work does not exceed my capability, so I have no reason to not do my job the best way I can. Since then, I have reminded myself to not be anxious, but to do all my work slowly and carefully. Even if I cannot do something at a maximum quality level, I should do in the best way I can and with my full heart spirit into it. Sometimes I think about how outstanding our guide really is, because most of Chanyuan Celestials are from Hunan Province and our home was started in Yunnan Province, and both of these places are viewed by many as being dirty and untamed, but it was in this place that he led us to build up such beautiful, tidy, elegant, and highly civilized Xanadus. Puxia Celestial's job is cleaning the bedrooms. She is a sister who strives for the best quality in her work. Every morning before the sun rises, she begins to clean the yards. Then she always cleans the bedrooms after the people have left them for work. Every day she mops the floors twice. The first time with a wet mop to absorb the dirt, and the second time to absorb the liquids with a dry mop. Each time she cleans the windows, she does it 3 times with different towels. The first time is done with a cleaning liquid, the second is done with clean water, and the third is with a clean and dry towel. Every time I see her, my respect for her goes up. She is a model worker whom is worthy to be studied lot from. There are many more examples, such as our branch director Foy Celestial. He is flexible in both mind and body, and he does everything cleanly and quickly. Most of our ironwork is done by him, and sometimes he creates small trinkets which are both functional and beautiful. Another example is the English introduction video of the second home done by Tongshin Celestial, from shooting and editing to the voiceovers and subtitles, and to the choices of background music. Every step shows a pursuit for the highest quality of production. The stage designs of Zhuhan Celestial are always elegant, fresh, and lovely, and the dance performances of Dongfang Celestial show every pose to be accurate, smooth, and beautiful. Every day, our cooks make delicious, diverse, and healthy food for us, and there are many, many more examples. One should not only achieve their best possible work results, but they should also try to accomplish the best human qualities by perfecting their soul gardens, so the relationships among people will grow to be friendlier and more harmonious, relaxed, and pleasant. I believe that by following our guide's lead, the day when we live in total happiness will surely come. Because we strive for the best quality of work, we also chase after sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty. We revere the greatest creator, revere life and nature, and we walk on the way of the greatest creator. The difficulties we are currently encountering cannot change our faith. On the contrary, they enhance our confidence to continue to chase for the beautiful life. The practice of our home and the love from all our brothers and sisters inside and outside of the community is the huge wealth of spirit and soul of this big family. The seed of chasing for the top-level quality has been planted in us. The picture of a wonderful new life mode has been planted in our minds, and the new life mode of human beings of the second home has been planted in our hearts. Someday, when the right time comes, it will sprout fully. Moiger and Bi Xiu Shu Lao Dongjira. Everyone must be a worker series of the bright spots of the second home. 9. Yixian. January 23, 2014. Translated by Tsong Long and edited by Care. This beautiful fairyland is created by hard work, especially manual labor, and it is built with one block at a time. Even the picture in our mind is very beautiful, but everything would be void if we did not do anything. The beautiful life and environment are the products of creation, and no matter how grand and beautiful the ideal is, it will not be realized without the practice of hard work. Work can purify one's soul. One who is not willing to participate in labor work is the one who looks down upon laborers and thinks himself superior. It is only when we join the labor work and are grateful for others' contributions that can we cherish the fruits of other people's labor and our own labor. Xiefeng requests each resident member of the second home to pass the labor test first. No matter whether you are a millionaire or a talent, and no matter whether you are a man over 80 but still capable of working, or a young girl, firstly you have to be a manual laborer who is not afraid of doing dirty jobs. One who is not a slacker is someone useful and able to shoulder the responsibilities. Every brother and sister in the second home must do 1 or 2 hours of manual labor each day to avoid becoming corrupt, even if they are a teacher or a website administrator. Actually, doing a manual job for 1 or 2 hours each day is a good adjustment for those who sit in front of computers for long periods of time, and it is also good for maintaining the body's vitality. Each job in the community has one person in charge, but this is also flexible. When everyone is imperfect, people could have conflicts. So if someone is not happy working with someone else, it is fine to request changing which job they do. Because the community intends to make everyone feel happy and free, you can also request to change if you do not like a particular job or want to try another one. The spiritual guide or the branch manager will make a change when a situation calls for one. Therefore, nobody will feel unhappy because they are doing a job they do not like, and in the meantime, everyone has an opportunity to experience a variety of different jobs. There are all kinds of group work projects in the second home, for example, mixing cement, moving bricks, fertilizing, watering vegetables, and planting flowers, trees, and potatoes. Collective work is always a happy experience because they are not only physical exercises, but they also make people feel happy as they joke with each other, and by working together, the job can be completed quickly. Therefore, all web administrators and teachers enjoy this kind of collective work very much. In the second home, working is very enjoyable because no one needs to worry about their basic needs, and specialists in their fields wash the clothes, cook the food, clean the rooms, and do all the other jobs, and each member has a separate bedroom so they can enjoy their privacy and rest well. Members get along with each other very well, and the living environment of the community is very beautiful, clean, and tidy. No matter what your job is, you will not be supervised or examined by anyone as long as you try your best. Each worker is expected to work for 6 hours each day with high efficiency and to strive to deliver first-class results. As paradise management is implemented, Each one has ownership of their job. So as long as the job is done and it does not affect others, it is up to the job owner to decide when and how it is done. Because there is neither worry nor pressure, working has become an enjoyable game. Everyone can put their talents into full play and enjoy the happiness, and most jobs in the community are connected with nature. When working alone, one can contemplate the magnificence and secrets of nature quietly. But when working in a group, they can enjoy the camaraderie of team cooperation in a very relaxed and cordial atmosphere. Manual labor can create material wealth directly and make life more comfortable and convenient, as well as preserving the living environment clean and tidy. It can also purify one's soul. People become humbler and know the importance of respecting the laborers as well as the importance of respecting both their own work as well as the work of others. They will also become grateful and realize that there is no free lunch. Therefore, they cherish their blessings and refuse to waste or live extravagantly. When one connects more with Mother Nature, their heart will become softer and they will realize the importance of revering life and nature. Therefore, I feel that it is because everyone enjoys working and because nobody even thinks about exploiting or oppressing others, that the second home becomes so beautiful and harmonious. Everyone has the spirit of serving others and contributing to community. In this home, people who are diligent are regarded as very beautiful, especially the manual workers. Lady shall be firstly respected. Series of the bright spots of the second home. 10. Yixian. January 24, 2014. Translated by So Long and edited by Kayer. Women have been suffering discrimination for thousands of years, and their positions are quite low in both marriage and society. Although the development of society has raised the value of women within marriage, traditional families, and society, they still belong to a disadvantaged group and their values are not acknowledged. Their dignity has been denied and their safety is still not guaranteed, and this can be proven by the amounts of domestic violence and sexual abuse. There have been many women living in the second home. The middle-aged are the majority, who have shown that women are awakening and they are not willing to be ruled and discriminated against. Instead, they want to lead dignified, meaningful, and free lives. In the second home, we have implemented the value that the positions of men and women are reversed and women should be firstly respected. The rights, safety, and dignity of women are fully guaranteed. You cannot see women being bullied or discriminated against, and there are no more heavy household chores for women, but they can put their talents into full play. Each woman has her own space which is free from disturbance, and it is unnecessary to lock her door at any time because nobody is allowed to enter into a woman's room without her permission, and nobody dares to sexually harass a woman. Besides, there are no leaders who will impose their will on women, and all things are done voluntarily. Women do not need to worry about the care of seniors or the education of children because the community takes full responsibility for those chores. There are no more conflicts between women and mothers-in-law or sisters-in-law. On the contrary, they have many close sisters with whom to chat, play, study, and work. In Lifechanyuan, women should be firstly respected in all situations. Women are the lotuses and men are the green leaves. Men are not allowed to contend with women. Men should be willing to and be brave enough to sacrifice for women. It is fine for women to seduce men, but men are not allowed to sexually harass women. Under any dangerous circumstances, men should be in front to protect women. Women take precedence over men in the matter of enjoyment. Men shall take the initiative in doing heavy and dirty tasks, while light and clean work shall be reserved for women. Men are not permitted to humiliate, desecrate, abuse, beat, maltreat, persecute, scorn, or deride women. Men are not permitted to limit women's personal freedoms in the name of love, physically or spiritually. Experience has shown that having the value that women should be firstly respected, all female members feel very happy and safe, and almost none of them are willing to go back to their traditional lives. The community also becomes more harmonious this way because women are naturally quieter and more peaceful, and they like harmony and serenity. They are naturally kind and loving with soft and big hearts. Women are firstly respected means that men are not allowed to seduce women in this community. In the aspect of sexuality, women have the great freedom of being able to take the initiative, which is good to foster their independence, and will eventually be helpful for their spiritual development and sublimation. Women are firstly respected also means that men are passive in love. This is good for men to cultivate their personalities. Butterfly will come when the flower scents. It is only when a man is becoming perfect and he brings happiness and joy to women that his appearance becomes enjoyable and therefore welcomed by all women. As a woman in the second home, I often have the feeling of being cared for and loved. I feel very blessed. In fact, when a woman feels happy, men will be happy too. Monthly parties, series of the bright spots of the second home, 11. Ishian Celestial. January 24th, 2014. Translated by Tsong Long and edited by Kair. I remember when our community was still in Kunming City and there were only about 30 of us. One Sunday night, our guide asked each of us to perform on the stage. Hardly anyone had experience performing in public back then, so no one wanted to perform because they were all too shy and self-conscious. Then the guide said that we were copying the lifestyle of the thousand-year world, and there are many games and entertainment activities there, so everyone should practice singing and dancing. Furthermore, everyone needs to perform something, even if it is just imitating the sound of an animal or a rabbit's bunny jump, and I still remember that things were just like that at our first party. The first performance of Dongfang, who can dance excellently now, was imitating a rabbit jumping, and my first performance was reciting a Hunan tongue twister. Wanyan's belly dance was very impressive even then. Anyway, we all had a lot of fun at the party that night. Gradually, with the development of the community and the growing number of members, people started to practice singing and dancing. There were more and more programs at each party, and the quality was improving. The host or hostess, stage and stage settings, music, costumes, and stage properties were carefully chosen or designed, and we had a variety of programs which included singing, dancing, reciting, short acts, comic dialogue, magic, and others. The dance category included disco, square dancing, ballroom dancing, folk dancing, and belly dancing, to name a few. The parties usually started at 7 p.m. and would not finish until after midnight. More and more people started becoming enthusiastic about performing on stage, and we would often need to rehearse our acts. The initial idea was that our parties would be weekly. However, as everyone became more involved with community work, we reduced them to just monthly parties. Each branch holds parties separately, and they choose their times and locations. Sometimes we hold parties in the daytime and use the beauty of nature as our stage setting. For example, the nice flowers and green bamboo in the third branch make a very nice stage background, while in the fourth branch, the lookout deck, Taiji Garden, and Foaming Valley offer both space and fantastic natural environments, so they are ideal natural venues for performers and audiences. We usually play group games before or after the parties. They are quite varied and include rope skipping, tug of war, game foul, and many others. There are punishments and rewards in these games. The punishments for the losers are that they must perform or do something to entertain the audience until he or she is allowed to pass, while the rewards for the winners are that they can punish anyone else. People are very happy playing these games as they experience the beauty of life. Their souls are more like those of children, and they become simpler. The relationships among people continue to grow closer and friendlier as well. People look more elegant and cultivated by the practices of singing and dancing. They not only have this simple quality of country folk, but they also have the elegant quality of city slickers. It becomes very difficult to recognize whether someone who has lived in our community for a long while was originally from the city or the countryside. I am also very often especially touched at the parties by the children. They are so immersed into performing that whether they are singing or dancing, their sincerity and innocence make me feel the beauty of life and the sweetness of the community. How good it would be if my child and every child could experience this kind of life. I remember one time when they recited the poem, A Grateful Heart, which they themselves had written. In that poem, they expressed their gratitude for the community and the love they feel as they are growing up. That poem touched almost everyone and brought many people to tears. The performances of the elderly have also brought a lot of joy and surprises to people. As I watched them, I could feel their sincerity and love of life. They were always so devoted and sometimes a little nervous, which made them look very lovely. As our community developed, we also bought more and more musical instruments. We now have a dulcimer, an eru, flutes, a harmonica, a xiao, guitars, and several others including the recent addition of a guqin. Although our performance skills are not yet professional, it delights me to hear my brothers and sisters creating these wonderful sounds. Very often as I have listened, I have felt that within a few short years, many people's skills will improve and they will become true artists. The games and party activities in the second home aim not only to bring happiness to people, they also have much deeper and more profound meanings. The Value Study and Life Meeting Series of the Bright Spots of the Second Home, 12. Yuxian Celestial. January 26, 2014. Translated by Tongxin and edited by Kair. Life in the Second Home is a brand new collective life mode, the aim of which is to build up a successful new life example for all people, through which everyone can enjoy a happy, joyful, free, and blessed lives on Earth. The advantages of the collective big family life are many, such as the happiness of collective work, collective games and entertainment, members work cooperatively and serving each other, all housework being divided into specific jobs, and everyone being responsible for one job. Life is therefore much simpler here. But it is not easy to maintain the effectiveness, harmony, order, and happiness of a community, because generally wherever there are people, it is easy to digress into gossips, conflicts, and contradictions. So how does the second home create a happy and orderly life and guarantee the efficiency and harmony among people? There are not rules in the second home, only the resonance of Chanyuan values. There is not big or small meetings here, only collective value studies meetings held twice weekly and life meetings held once each week. Each one lasts for 2 hours, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The value studies are held on Monday and Wednesday nights, and the weekly life meetings are on Friday nights. The value studies are very important steps in this new life program, because only when people's thoughts resonate can they get along with each other closely, happily, and harmoniously. At the same time, only by continuous value studies can people sublimate their consciousnesses to higher levels, eliminate the bad habits from their past lives, and form better qualities of human nature. The content of value studies are usually from the latest articles written by Guide Xiefeng, or from the 800 Values for New Era Human Beings. The study is facilitated by the Guide, Xiefeng, and all branches share them simultaneously by the use of Skype or other communications technologies. After the studies, the Guide will entertain the understanding and heart voices of all brothers and sisters and address any questions. If there are any arrangements or adjustments regarding to our daily life or production, the branch director will also inform everyone. The main contents of the life meetings include listening to solving the problems of anyone feeling they have been treated wrongly or unjustly. Speak frankly is encouraged in the second home, and if anyone suffers wrongful treatment, people are encouraged to speak them freely and publicly at these meetings because these meetings is for all members. Everyone attends the meetings, and if there are any misunderstandings, they will be easy to be explained. If people make mistakes, they will be made aware of them, and they can apologize publicly. There are good opportunities to improve the quality of one's sublimation. If everyone keeps their thoughts from the public arena, but complains privately and brings emotional rubbish to people or spreads gossip in this home, the community will become unhealthy and impure. It is only when everyone raises up their questions and problems publicly at the meetings that they can be solved fairly and thoroughly, and this big family will become more transparent, happy, and healthy. Cooperation on production and daily life. Everyone chooses or accepts their work of their own free wills, and the community will try to make the best arrangements on the basis of meeting everyone's interest and skills. There is no management or supervision. Everyone can arrange their working time freely and try to finish it the best way they can. The branch director considers the holistic production plan of the community and coordinates and arranges collective work and special work according to actual needs. In daily life, the community serves and is in service for everyone. And if there are any special individual needs, based on no luxury or waste, people can raise them up freely and the community will try to satisfy them if at all possible. The suggestions and arrangements of important festivals and celebrations are also discussed and decided at these meetings. Fill up the loophole. The management of the second home is paradise management or holographic management, whose core meaning is no management is the best management, and everything has run quite well so far. For example, all kinds of jobs are accounted for by specific members, and everyone has their job to do. Through soul garden beautification, everyone becomes diligent and tries to finish their jobs in its best quality. Thus, there is almost nothing for the director to monitor or push for. Every morning, people get up early, go to their positions, and do their jobs voluntarily and happily. Sometimes, because of job adjustments, members transferring among the branches, or according to the community's development, the need for some jobs end as new ones emerge. We then need to discuss and deal with any loopholes at the life meetings, so the director can make a new arrangement or coordination. Resolve any uncivilized phenomena. A perfect community relies on everyone's perfection, and since the second home is setting up a new life mode for all human beings, it needs a high level of civilization in all aspects. Although all members have studied the Chanyuan values before living in the community, putting what one knows into their work and daily life is not always as easy to do. Those habits which have been shaped in the secular world often come out unconsciously, such as spitting on the ground, leaving exposed rubbish out, failing to clean and return tools after using them. Do not clean them and put it back to original places. Do not keep the tidiness after using public toilets or bathrooms, failing to leave public toilets and bathrooms to be pleasant for the next person, wasting materials and resources, not working carefully and wholeheartedly, spreading gossip or complaining outside the meetings, disrespect ladies or elderly, speaking indecent words, and the list goes on. When these things happen, members point out such uncivilized phenomena publicly at the life meetings in order to remind and alert the offender to correct their actions and words in daily life so that they might sublimate themselves, and also as a reminder for the health and perfection of the full community. Addressing those ideas or requirements from deep within people's hearts. Our community is very individualized. The destination of the community is to let every brother and sister lead a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life. Therefore, on the basis of respecting the generality of the community, it is understandable that if people have special needs or requirements for their lives, they are encouraged to express such needs or requirements freely and publicly at the meetings, and the community will meet their needs the best we can. As the level of the community members' perfection have increased, time for the weekly life meeting has shortened a lot, from 3 to 4 hours at the very beginning to about half an hour today. Almost nothing is brought up at the weekly life meetings, and life here is becoming more and more relaxed, free, and enjoyable. Fun gong krezo, shang gu fu, dr, jan langdan, shi li shirsan. The division of labor and serving each other. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 13. Ishian Celestial. January 26, 2014. Translated by Ilian and edited by Kair. The second home is a big family, but it has an essential difference from the traditional nuclear family or the traditional extended family. In general society, no matter whether there are small families or extended families, they are usually bonded by blood relationships. However, the second home is bonded by our guide's road map and the Chanyuan values. The permanent residents in the second home all resonate with Lifechanyuan values, and they are eager to follow our guide's roadmap. This is the basic requirement. The second home is a family for all Chanyuan celestials, and anyone who joins the second home becomes a member of our family. Because we share the same life values, world values, and philosophy, we feel closer and have more in common than any blood family. We do not feel loneliness together. Instead, we appreciate each other and treat each other as brothers and sisters. In the nuclear family, usually after work, people have many household chores, plus they have to deal with the various relationships. However, in the second home, all work is carefully divided. For example, chefs only cook, cleaners only wash laundry, housekeeping people only maintain personal rooms, and so forth. Everyone works for 6 hours each day, but with high efficiency. In their spare time, everyone can enrich their knowledge and elevate their minds. The job division within the second home is based on everyone's interests and skills, and we have no labor hierarchy or caste system. Neither lowliness nor nobility is associated with any job in the community. No matter what kind of work one does, their service is to everyone, and their merits accumulate as they purify themselves in daily life. Those who are willing to do dirty work and always pursue first-class quality are well respected. Individuals can also change their jobs if they are not happy with their current work. Specially assigned persons are responsible for most jobs in the second home. However, many collective labor jobs which require the cooperation of all members also exist. Collective jobs are like collective games. They are enjoyable and full of happiness. The second home is our home. It is also a place to sublimate our life quality and pay off our accumulated debts. There are no salaries or bonuses in the second home. However, the community provides all your meals, clothing, shelter, and transportation, plus you are given the opportunity to climb to the highest state of life. In the second home, not only can you enjoy this happy life, but you can also sublimate yourself to a higher life space. Where else can you find such a place in this world? Every member provides a service, and they receive good services in return. These are all free and superior, and they are offered with love. From this point, we can honestly say that the second home life mode is the best life mode in human history. This division of labor and service to each other is part of the community system. Everyone does their work in order to pay off lifetimes of debts and to accumulate life merits. And everyone does their best to pursue a first-class quality of work and to purify their own non-material structure. It is because of this system and these values that the relationships among each other are very simple. There are no conflicts of interest or emotional issues. We each have enough time to do what we like as well as to enjoy life. What is freedom? Someone said that freedom is not that you can do whatever you want to do, but that you can refrain from doing anything you do not want to do. I very much agree with this statement. In the second home, you are totally free. If you do not want to do something, you can leave it because there will always be someone else to do it and something else that will suit you. The division of labor and service to each other in the second home is totally different from that which exists in general society. In the second home, you do not need to worry about losing your job, and there are no life pressures or conflicts of interest. There are no complex relationships, and you can do whatever you prefer to do. Meanwhile, you are given the time to purify yourself. In addition, you can enjoy a simple, relaxed, and happy life. This is actually a fond dream for many people. No one would pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 14. Yixian Celestial. January 27th, 2014. I remember that when I was young, whenever my family would go out to work in the fields, they would just close the doors and hang the locks on the bolts, but they would never lock them. The doors were only locked when we went away for several days. But in today's residential areas, the fences are very high and doors are secured with big, heavy locks, and people always worry about security. In the city, when people are home, they lock their doors from inside, and when they go out, they feel unsafe unless they lock all the doors and windows at several levels. The morality of society has rolled so far back that people have to take these extraordinary measures to prevent themselves from being robbed and all their possessions being stolen. What does this do to people's stress levels? In the current society, integrity has become a luxury which is precious and random. No one would pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night. Are these not the expectations of most people? At least, they are for me. I do not like to live with security guards and locks. They are tiring and annoying. I would rather live simply and relaxedly. Consciousness creates reality, so maybe my image thinking helped me, because when I came to the second home, my image came true. I find that in the second home, you need not worry at all about security. There is no need to worry about losing anything, because even if you forget or misplace something, no one would take it, so you will find it in the same spot even after many hours or several days. In the evening, you need not lock your door or close your windows before going to bed, but just close your door or even leave it open for the breeze and enjoy a sweet, relaxed sleep without any worries about security or harassment. The second home aims to build up an example of a new life mode for people, which will become the most ideal life mode in the world. Therefore, no one would pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night, is necessary. The value of our home is that you do not take anything you find on the ground or anywhere else, as long as it does not belong to you, whether within or outside of the community. When walking on the street, people will not take anything even there are gold and diamonds on the ground. Because of such a value, in our 5 years community practice, there has never been any event of stealing. Anything you misplace or forget somewhere, you can find it and take it back at any time. In the second home, Everyone has their own bedroom, which is a sacred and private space which no one may ever enter unless invited. As long as the doors and curtains are closed, nobody will come to disturb you, and pushing the door open is absolutely forbidden, even if nobody answers after knocking. In the daytime, as long as nobody is in, the doors, curtains, and windows are left open, and only the cleaning sisters will enter. Therefore, there is no need to lock the doors. This is the same in the evening. I have been living in the second home for more than 4 years, and I have never locked my door or windows at night. It is absolutely safe here. Some might ask, but what if a member does not follow the values? From the current situation in society, such worry makes sense, but in the second home, it is totally different. All members living in the second home have Lifechanyuan values and resonate with them, have hearts which have been purified by those values, and have come here mainly to sublimate their own life quality for contributing themselves to the building of and creation of a new life mode, and for beautifying their soul gardens. Thus, nobody would be greedy and harass other people or take their things. The facts have also proven that we have already realized the ideal life of no one would pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night. No one would pocket anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night, is a dream that so many people, from ordinary laborers to many saints, sages, and grand philosophers have sought for thousands of years. It seems very difficult to be realized, but in the magical second home, this ideal has surely come true. Everyone tries to their best ability and takes what they need freely. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 15. Ishian Celestial. January 28, 2014. When Karl Marx described his ideal communist society of the future, his most well-known quote has always been, "From each according to their ability and to each according to their needs." That wealth which is distributed according to people's needs is a concept that has been and is always being changed by our national leaders in order to meet whatever requirements they have at any particular time, but it is not Marx's original expression. Meanwhile, the practice in China proves that it does not matter whether wealth is distributed based on labor or on need because both have their shortcomings. Firstly, if wealth is distributed according to labor, who will be the ones to decide how much should be given to each laborer? And if the value of labor cannot be recognized fairly, it will surely cause unfairness and conflicts. In terms of distribute according to one's needs, as long as there is a consciousness of distribution, there are differences of classes or grades, and a complete fairness will not be reached. Secondly, the distributor cannot be clear to know the needs of all the people. It will cause egalitarianism, and some people might get more than enough while other people's needs will not be fully met. Then, the market economy comes. It stimulates the vanity of society, and people have more choices on working. Some people with good abilities become rich first, but because of the cruel competition and some political reasons, many others have no opportunities or stages upon which to utilize their talents. When everything is based on money, products are abundant and people can buy them freely on the market, but you cannot acquire these products no matter how badly you need them if you lack the money. Therefore, in order to survive in society, most people have to do jobs that they do not like. Besides, your labor value is determined by the market, and when the market is not successful, your hard work and contributions will not be enough to provide you with a comfortable and happy life. In the second home, everything is simple. For permanent residents in the second home, the community is responsible for your food, clothes, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, sickness and death, the nursing and caring of the elderly, and the education of children. You need not worry about anything in life anymore, and the life quality is beyond the average level of the life standard in the world. The natural environment is excellent, clean, tidy, with flowers, trees, and birds surrounding you, and everyone has a bedroom, which is a sacred space that will not be disturbed by anyone without your permission. To ensure the effective running of the community life program, there are many jobs from which people may choose. These jobs are not related to money, but they are only emerging for the life needs of the community. No currency is used within the community, work is divided among all members, and people serve each other rather than owe each other. The building of the second home includes many aspects of life. It is a big stage. Whatever talents you have, you may put into full use, and you need not worry about lacking the opportunities to realize your dream. Wherever possible, the community will create chances for you to demonstrate your abilities, and people can always find jobs that they like and that fit them. In the public canteen, there is always enough food, tea, and snacks for people to take. And in the storeroom, all kinds of daily use items are abundant, and people can take them anytime they need to. If you have extra clothes which are relatively new, you may send them to the storeroom, and people will share them. In the medicine room, most of the often used medicines are available for anyone to use. If you want something that needs to be bought on the market, the community will buy it for you. The only principle is no luxury or waste, and on the basis of the community's financial ability. Work is divided and people serve each other. All resources are shared among all the people. The second home has achieved the goal of everyone tries to his best ability and takes what they need freely. People's talents are fully utilized, and everything is used to its best values. Minimizing the consumption of natural resources, series of the bright spots of the second home, 17. Ishian. January 28, 2014. Translated by Eileen and edited by Care. In recent years, natural disasters have become more and more frequent and serious, and some have been the biggest disasters of the century. There are many abnormal weather phenomena such as typhoons, hurricanes, earthquakes, famines, droughts, temperature extremes, and haze. Mother Nature is warning us through all these different natural phenomena. People have plundered too much from nature and have broken her natural balance. If people do not change the current production and life modes, sooner or later we will destroy ourselves. Protect the environment, care for nature, and reduce our consumption. These are everybody's duties, and we cannot and must not delay. Can the Earth support all the world's human population? Yes. The resources on the Earth are enough to support every person. However, most of the resources are currently controlled by a small handful of people. People's current production and life modes waste a lot of resources. For example, there is at least one TV in each household. This is waste. Another example is the transporting of food from one place to another. Statistics show that 1/3 of it is wasted. The second home lifestyle is a collective one. We advocate that everyone have nothing yet own everything. All our resources are shared among all our members. Because everything is publicly owned, everyone can use them when needed, and everything gets used to its maximum. In our fourth branch, there is a TV in the main hall, and usually there are dozens of people watching it together. In nuclear families, that number of people would require at least 10 TVs. From this view, we can say that natural resource consumption in a collective life like the second home is far less than what are consumed by traditional small families. In the second home, there are no leftovers, not even grains of rice. All the food waste either feeds the chickens and ducks or are used for compost, but nothing is ever wasted. As for the clothing, we dress appropriately and cleanly, but we do not pursue luxury brands. If we have unsuitable clothes, we usually put them in storage, where anyone who needs or likes the clothes can just take them. We have many other similar examples. We revere life and revere nature. We try to take no more than we need. We never damage or pollute nature or the environment. Instead, we strive to care for nature and to maintain our environment tidy and clean, and we make the maximum use of everything. Our third branch was originally a farm stay. When we were cleaning the yard and fields, we found all kinds of rubbish, including plastic waste and glasses everywhere, so we cleaned them all away. Only by revering nature from deep within the hearts and caring for the environment in every detail can we have fresh air, clean water, and a good high quality of food. We are one with Mother Nature, and we are inseparable from nature. We have enough fruits and vegetables in the second home. They are pure, natural, and pollution-free. This is because we applied permaculture and natural farming. We improved our soil with organic fertilizer, and this increased the vitality and fertility of the soil. We also did waste classification disposal. For example, some rubbish went to compost, and some was used for burning. Sewage waste is filtered through certain plants before disposal, and human waste is fully fermented before being used in the fields. The second home's production and life mode reduces the consumption of resources to a minimum. We not only enjoy the life quality, but also keep Mother Nature clean and pure. Everything is transparent and members have full freedom to leave. Series of the bright spots of the second home, 18. Ishian Celestial. January 28, 2014. Translated by Long and edited by Kair. There is nothing to hide in the second home. All things are published on our websites, and we keep no secrets. The core principles of the second home are to revere the greatest creator, life, and nature, and to walk on the way of the greatest creator. The objectives of the second home are to initiate a new life mode for people and to bring them into a new era where they can enjoy happy, joyful, free, and blessed lives. All permanent members of the second home must be Chanyuan celestials who have learned Chanyuan values and are willing to follow the teachings of our spiritual guide. The objectives for Chanyuan celestials who participate in the building of our community are to purify their souls, pay their debts, accumulate wealth in heaven, and to replace their human consciousness with those of celestial beings, so that one day they will be able to reach the summit of life and life, which is to travel along happy, joyful, free, and blessed life journeys, and also to sublimate their lives to the higher levels life spaces, the 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world, and the Elysium world. The second home follows the 800 values for new human beings. These values are made known to everyone. There are 8 cultures in the community, and the details are also published for the public. The time, location, and contents of community group study meetings and weekly community meetings are transparent as well. We also publish almost everything about the community on our websites with explanations of words and pictures, such as how we live, what we do, and how we play. Our financial matters are also quite transparent, for example, where the income of the community comes from. Every donation from Chanyuan Celestials is published on the community's internal website. The guests, their backgrounds, and their purposes for visiting are also transparent to every member. Normally, the community does not accept visiting guests who are not Chanyuan Celestials. The reason is that we want to maintain the purity of the community, which does not mean that we intend to keep anything secret. The fact that most Chanyuan Celestials do not want to return home has caused misunderstandings from their family members who think that we must be limiting our members' personal freedoms and not allowing them to leave. This is not true. The fact is they like the community so much that they do not want to leave. Cell phones and the internet are freely available for Chanyuan Celestials to connect with the outside world. Whoever meets our criteria can apply to live in the community, and if for any reason they choose to leave, they can do so at any time. The community is also open for journalists to interview us and for investigation by all levels of the government. It also welcomes other social groups to visit us and share thoughts with us. Our community life is constantly reported to the public in a totally truthful way. There are no offices and few meetings. Series of the Bright Spots of the Second Home, 19. Human Celestial. January 28, 2014. Translated by Long and edited by Kair. Many people consider that offices are where bosses, officials, and the white-collar staff work. It seems that those who work in the offices are superior to farmers, laborers, and small businessmen, as evidenced by their comfortable working environments with heat and air conditioning, good fresh coffee, and light desk jobs. There are no classes in the second home. Each worker is equal to all others no matter what jobs they do, so there are no offices. Xiefeng, founder of the community, is the spiritual guide of our community at the moment. He is also the acting director in charge of the management of the community. In normal society, a person such as he would have a very big office and a secretary. However, in fact, like anyone else, he only has a standard separate room with no special facilities. He writes articles in the room and does not have a secretary. Branch managers are responsible for the administration and coordination of each branch's operation. They do not have offices, and some do not even have personal computers. They go to the computer room whenever necessary. The community has 5 websites, and the website administrators also work in their rooms and do not have offices. There are no extra meetings except for the 2-hour group studies on Monday and Wednesday nights, and the community meetings on Friday nights. The second home implements paradise management, which means that everyone has ownership of and takes full responsibility for their job, so there are few discussions and meetings are unnecessary. For the above reasons, everything in the second home is kept simple and easy. The pursuit of substantial results and not to engage in formalism. Series of the Bright Spots of the Second Home, 20. Human Celestial. January 28, 2014. Translated by Ilian and edited by Kayer. Many people in Western countries believe in the greatest creator, or God. They often pray before eating meals to show their appreciation for the food that the greatest creator has given them. In China, many people visit temples where they burn incense and kowtow before their spiritual manifestations at every festival and on New Year's Day. The various religious groups all have their own unique ceremonies. In the second home, everything is much simpler. There are neither temples nor churches. We never burn incense or kowtow, and we have no prayer ceremonies. However, this does not mean that we do not revere the greatest creator or the divinities. Instead, we lay stress on actual practices, but we do not engage in formalism. Some foreigners who came to the second home once told us how they felt strange about our not praying before meals. Although we are always saying that we revere the greatest creator and that we feel grateful for everything we have. In fact, we do not have these kinds of formalities, but we express our gratitude in daily life. We eat our meals with joy and grateful hearts, and we never waste even a grain of rice. We revere all life beings, not only visible lives, but also those unseen. It is because we feel such awe in our hearts that we never harm other lives. Everywhere we go, we love and care for all plants and animals, and we never overexploit the forests. If we have to move a plant, we try to communicate with it in advance because we believe that if we are kind to other life beings, then they will return that kindness to us too. The will of the greatest creator is that all life beings on earth should lead happy, free, and joyful lives. And if we follow the will of the greatest creator and constantly purify our soul gardens, then we will not only feel happy ourselves, but will also spread that happiness to others. We express our gratitude and love to the greatest creator through dancing, singing, and all kinds of games. Xiefeng has always told us that we should not say how much we love and respect him with words or by giving him special treats, but we need to turn our respect into the practice of following the Lifechanyuan values and following his roadmap guide. We need to truly care about every brother and sister in the community, because to say that one respects Xiefeng on one hand, while disrespecting and harming one's brothers and sisters on the other, is inconsistent and is totally wrong. Everything in the second home is concrete. We purify ourselves by what we say and do. We discipline ourselves in daily life and in a thoroughgoing manner. The beautiful life is created with our hands, and the beautiful future lies in our visualization. We believe in karma, and we believe that if we plant the seeds of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, and trust, then we will harvest happiness, freedom, and joy. Respect the facts and tell the truth. Series of the bright spots of the second home, now new oasis for life. 21. Ishian Celestial. January 28, 2014. Translated by Fengxing and edited by Kayer. Respecting the facts and telling the truth means to be honest, neither to exaggerate nor to lessen the facts, to show the reality and tell the reason, not to lie, cheat, or talk superstitiously. Say yes when it is real, but say no when there is no such fact. The gods always see you from 1 meter above your head. The gods hear loud thunder when whispers happen in man's world. The god's sight is like lighting when one is cheating in the dark. Chinese idioms. No matter whose mind runs, the gods see it clearly. A clever man is often hurt by his own cleverness. Any cheating act ultimately hurts the cheater, not the cheated. The honest man might lose some temporary advantages, but he will eventually attain abundant fruits. While the liar might get some short-term benefits, he must suffer severe losses and punishments in the end. Xiefeng, the spiritual guide of Lifechanyuan, always emphasizes that to be honest is the best way. A Chanyuan celestial must be honest, especially in the second home, for any devious act in the dark, any act of lying, cheating, or trickery ultimately harms the perpetrator. One should never imagine that they are cleverer than others, and that others are not able to realize their falsehood. The fact is that to be honest and tell the truth is the safest way to be. Because of such values, everything that happens in the second home is reported frankly and honestly, including the construction, activities, and any other events in this home. And all the details on our websites are accurate and true, which are illustrated by our many pictures and videos. We never exaggerate or lie to the public. During the past 2 years, officials and officers from various government agencies, including the police, have come to the second home and questioned our members in the second home hundreds of times, but the guide has never prepped us on how to answer or told us in advance how to reply. He only told Chanyuan Celestials to be honest and to tell the accurate facts at all times, and to neither exaggerate nor lessen the details, to tell yes when the fact is yes and say no when the fact is no. Today, after almost 5 years' practice of the second home, the facts have proven that no devious or illegal events have ever occurred. This is frank and above board and can endure any examination. The persecution events we are now suffering and how we think and respond to them are also reported frankly to the public. In fact, before our persecution from the local government and villagers began last April, we had never created any problems for either of them, nor had we ever benefited from them. We have not hurt people, nature, or society, and what we have done is to endeavor to change every place we have lived into a beautiful Xanadu. By improving the soil and planting many flowers and fruit trees, we hope to leave a nice, rich paradise to local villagers when our contracts expired. Because Lifechanyuan values are so far ahead of most people in current society's understanding, the local government is trying to disband us, and we can understand this. We regard what we are suffering as one obstacle on our road to a grand future, but there is no hatred or complaining in our minds. Of course, we also strive to preserve our legal interest. We cooperate with our government to dissolve us, even as that government refuses to protect our legal interests in this place. We endure the huge pain of losing our beautiful home, built by our hands and hearts, and to tell you the truth, our hearts are bleeding. However, no matter how cruel the realities are, we are still keeping to the value of respecting the facts and telling the truth, and we still believe that human beings have a wonderful future in store for them. Everyone here is a thoughtful university student. Series of the Bright Spots of the Second Home, 22. February 3, 2014. Translated by Fengxing and edited by Care. Lifechanyuan is a university, and the second home is its classroom. The main curriculum in Lifechanyuan University includes the origin of the universe, the origin of life, the origin of people, the mysteries of life, the mysteries of time and space, the position of mankind in the universe, the values and meanings of life, the relationships between people and people, people and society, and people and nature, sustainable development for human beings, the values and objects of civilization, such as a unified world, the harmony between the various races of people, people's happiness, and many other subjects. All Chanyuan Celestials are students of Lifechanyuan University and all need to learn these courses first. Entering the second home and practicing the theories by living and working in the community is our way of transforming theory into reality. As long as one becomes a student of Lifechanyuan University, then no matter how much or whatever they have learned before, and no matter what cultural or regional background they have, once they study and begin to practice Chanyuan values wholeheartedly, they become qualified and thoughtful university students with good educations on culture and strong practical abilities within 4 to 8 years. Lifechanyuan University attaches more importance to the real effect than to the diploma. It emphasizes the improvement of one's thinking, and it does not attempt to beat knowledge into the student's head. It emphasizes soul garden beautification and sublimation on the conscious level, rather than learning about how to get a good salary job when entering into secular society. It emphasizes how to achieve a healthy, peaceful, joyful, and happy life, and not how to beat others and become a financial winner in secular society. After 5 years of learning and practicing, it has become clear that all who have participated in the work and life of the second home have already become thoughtful university students, and most of them are exceptional graduates. As a person, every student here has learned and mastered the essential knowledge of how to be a good one. They have healthy and integrated souls and minds. They will never do extreme things. They will never hurt society, people, nature, or other life beings for private interests. They will never complain to society or anyone else when encountering difficulties or troubles, but rather introspect to find their own faults first. Undoubtedly, graduates from Lifechanyuan University have healthier and more integrated characters and natures as human beings. They have the ability to think and deal with things flexibly, the ability to live independently, the qualities necessary to cooperate with others, and have all the good characters of civilized persons. They have nice personalities and holy qualities. They love life and are open, fair, enthusiastic, humble, diligent, kind, pure, self-confident, believable, and honest. Additionally, they think actively, have clear minds, and possess enough courage to practice and innovate. It is absolutely a big misunderstanding if you think that Chanyuan Celestials are a group of blind followers who lack knowledge. You can communicate face-to-face with any Chanyuan Celestial to prove it. As long as you remain peaceful and reasonable with them, you will be assured that every Chanyuan Celestial is a thoughtful university student.
Embrace the new life of the second home. Xiefeng. July 7, 2010. From ancient time to present, mankind has never experienced this kind of life, where the grass and wood are verdant and luxuriant, the weather is favorable, the environment is elegant and spring-like all the year round, all kinds of birds are twittering and myriad of flowers are giving off fragrance, everything is in harmony and coziness, there is no marriage and family, everyone owns nothing and yet has everything, everyone fully enjoys joy and happiness, and everyone embraces freedom and blessing. Here there is no contention for money, power, fame and position, everyone enjoys a pure and sincere relation, no one takes advantage of his or someone else's power to bully people, here holographic management is adopted and there is no leadership. Everyone is at the same time master and servant, everyone chooses one thing and tries his or her best to do a good job. The home takes charge of everyone's food, clothing, shelter, transportation, living, old age, illness, and death. The home encourages the good quality of sincerity, kindness, virtue, love, faith, and honesty. There is no lazy bone and parasite in the home. The home does not celebrate birthday or festivals. The members of the home do not exchange gifts and other articles, do not watch TV or read newspaper, but can communicate freely via telephone and networks. There is a happy evening party every week, everyone can take part in and display his or her wonderful talents. At the party there are endless games and everyone will be immersed in the happiness. There is no fixed schedule for work and rest, one can go to sleep any time he or she wants to, as long as they have finished their work. Everyone can decide for themselves how much to eat, whether to have meat or vegetables according to their own likes and dislikes. Everyone has a bedroom, furnished with a bed, a table, a chair, a cabinet, a mirror, a basin, and electric circuit. The private space is free from disturbance and interference 24 hours every day. No one is allowed to break in without permission. The home has no place for those who are fond of eating but averse to work, for those who compete for supremacy, and for those who dish the dirt. Everyone takes charge to perfect themselves and does not mind others' business. From Monday to Thursday the members will learn the college course of Lifechanyuan. Young people shall work hard at their study, enrich their connotations, and reach college levels in learning. On Friday evening the home will hold a life meeting to discuss and solve problems in a timely manner. Everyone should make sure that he or she has performed responsibility dutifully. There should be no void where no one takes any responsibility. Middle-aged and old people shall practice Chanyuan exercises in the morning and evening to ensure good health. Old and weak people shall be looked after by special people. There are Chanyuan Celestials specially responsible for minors' food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. Great attention shall be paid to foster good manners and civility. The children should learn to protect nature, love life, and maintain harmonious relations with neighbors. We should cooperate with local governments to carry out government's laws and statutes. Be open and straightforward in everything, which can stand the inspection and question of the public. Chase the sun and escape from darkness, and do not do anything furtively. Do not practice theurgy and magical arts, do not engage in superstition, and safeguard the way of nature. Do not go to extremes, do not deviate from the correct path, follow the instructions of saints and sages of all generations. Be free in emotional love and sex love, and do not engage in forceful possession and occupation. Treasure freedom, and do not allow the disturbance and interference of any third party in things that accord the law of heaven and are being done on the basis of mutual volition. Anyone who incurs damage to others' spirit, soul and flesh shall be evicted from the home. Both strictness and leniency shall be employed to build the perfect home of man. Through 1 year's practice, the above ideal realm has become reality, and it is hoped that all worthy people of mankind will embrace the happy new life. Here you are free to spend money. Shui Feng. March 20, 2012. The miraculous the second home is the kingdom of the greatest Creator. Here live a group of diligent, kind, simple and honest people. In order that people can have free access to money, several months ago I left 2,000 yuan RMB in the drawer of my bedroom in the third subunit, where I seldom stay. I told sisters and brothers that if they need some pocket money, they are free to collect it from my bedroom, and that they need not make any request to anybody and report to anybody about the money they have spent. These days I have returned to the third subunit on the matter of expansion. Today I counted the money that still remains in the drawer. Several months have passed and there is still 980 yuan left. That is to say, 10-20 yuan has been spent, which means that on average each person has spent less than 7 yuan a month. How simple and honest people are here. Practice has proved that Chanyuan celestials who have undergone the baptism of Chanyuan values are the most civilized people in the world. Here, no one pockets things found on the road and doors need not be bolted at night. People, don't you want to change your conventional way of life and live in the miraculous and beautiful the second home? Make your effort for this purpose. The home is waiting for you. All people in the world who are willing to follow the way of the greatest Creator and the road of Chanyuan can live happily, peacefully, comfortably and harmoniously in the second home. Soon, this way of money use will also be practiced in other subunits. Joint announcement from the second home of Lifechanyuan, China and Kanahana family, Japan. November 11, 2013. It is our pleasure to announce to you that the second home of Lifechanyuan, hereinafter referred to as Lifechanyuan, and Kanahana family, eco-villages that are born in China and Japan, have had conversations with each other through delegates from their communities and have reached the following agreement. On November 11, 2013, as a symbol of harmonizing the East Asian countries which are ethnic brothers and sisters, Lifechanyuan and Kanahana family have united as one big family. Therefore Lifechanyuan has become the Chinese branch of Kanahana family, and Kanahana family has become the fifth branch of Lifechanyuan. Hereafter, the affairs of this big family will be discussed by all members of both communities. The core values of this big family are, revere the greatest Creator, revere life, revere nature, and create a system in which human beings, nature and society are able to coexist harmoniously, and become a model for all human beings. We will explore new paths in the areas of building an ecological civilization and sustainable living. Therefore, we identify our lifestyle as highly civilized and absolutely communal. Before cultivating fields, cultivate the soul. The top priorities of this big family are to purify and beautify each member's soul, and to achieve high levels of self-sufficiency and sustainability. We will comply with all the terms and laws stipulated in the Charter of the United Nations, and comply with the Constitution and laws in each country. We respect the central government and its leaders in each country. However, the most important is not the interests of our individual nations. Instead, we will consider first the interests of all humanity. This will be our main focus. We will continue to strive to unite over 1,000 communities in the world into a big international family to finally realize the dream of one world, one family. We hereby announce to the world that we have made this first great step towards realizing the beautiful ideal of creating a united and harmonious world that has always been a dream of human beings. Lifechanyuan Canada New Oasis for Life Community has come into being today. Xiefeng. It is my honor to announce that the Canada New Oasis for Life is born today on September 29, 2017. This is to the glory of the greatest Creator, the Supreme Master and Creator of the universe, as well as to that of all sages, saints, Buddhas, and celestials throughout history. It is a blessing for all celestials of Lifechanyuan and for all current and future generations of people. Basking in the sacred light of the greatest creator and practicing the teachings of all Buddhas, sages and saints, all Chanyuan celestials have been working hard to present Lifechanyuan internationally. Lifechanyuan has kicked off a new journey. From today onward, the banner of revering life, revering nature, revering the greatest creator, and walking on the way of the greatest creator will flutter high in the wind until the end of this 1,000-year era. The birth of the Canada New Oasis for Life community marks the beginning of a new era. The Lifechanyuan era has officially raised its curtain. This is the first year of the Lifechanyuan era. The universe, weather, nature, societies, individuals, and collective groups will all evolve toward its manifestation. Boundaries will disappear and everyone will move freely across the world, and the era that we have all been dreaming about will gradually come into fruition. The Canada New Oasis for Life community is currently on 10 acres of farmland and has a beautiful residence. With the development of the community, we will produce farms, gardens, a hotel, an entertainment center, and an exhibition center. This will be the birthplace of a big international family. Based on Canada's culture diversity and its rich natural resource, there will be between 100 and 300 people with different skin color coming from a variety of religions, cultures, nations, and ethnic groups happily living here together in the future. Lifechanyuan will establish a brand new life mode which is completely different from the traditional one. We wish all who are keen to dedicating themselves to the sustainable development of human future do your bit to grow with this new oasis community. We currently have a bed and breakfast to accommodate our guests, and your visit and stay will support this great cause. Reservations are required to stay here. We very much welcome your visit and wish we can spend some time together to share our values and ideas. Could I get mansions covering 10,000 miles? I'd house all scholars poor and make them beam with smiles. In wind and rain these mansions would stand like mountains high, living in the nature and far away from the noise of dense traffic. You ask me how I feel now. In my ears are the sounds of wind, rain and waves. I pick chrysanthemums under the eastern hedge. And far away to the south I can see the mountains. Geese flying over sunset and pure souls go to paradise. Lifechanyuan Spiritual and Soul Bank opens. Xiefeng. July 1, 2022. Translated by Chinyu and edited by Kair. Do you have excess spiritual and soul wealth? If so, please save it in the Spiritual and Soul Bank of Lifechanyuan. What kinds of spiritual wealth can be saved in our Spiritual and Soul Bank? You know and resonate with an individual Chanyuan celestial and maintain a close relationship with them. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 1F coin. You have one or several blood relatives who are Chanyuan celestials and you maintain close relationships with them. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 1F coin. You have supported a Chanyuan celestial materially or spiritually to help rescue them from an undesirable situation. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 5F coins. You have disseminated articles of Chanyuan corpus or Xiefeng corpus. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 1F coin for each article. You have paid tips for reading Chanyuan corpus, Xiefeng corpus, or reports about the second home of Lifechanyuan. Every 10 RMB yuan can be valued and saved as 1F coin. You have reported news about the progress of Lifechanyuan and the second home. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 5F coins. You have affirmed and praised Lifechanyuan on several occasions. Each can be valued and saved as 1F coin. You have praised Xiefeng, the tour guide of Lifechanyuan in public. This spiritual wealth can be valued and saved as 1F coin. What kinds of soul wealth can be saved in our Spiritual and Soul Bank? If you believe that it is best for humans to follow the way of the greatest creator, that is the way of nature, it can be valued and saved as 2F coins. If you believe that the Xiefeng-style communist production and living mode is best, it can be valued and saved as 5F coins. If you have ever read a report or viewed a video about the second home of Lifechanyuan and resonated with our mode, it can be valued and saved as 1F coin. If you long for or even yearn to live in the second home one day, it can be valued and saved as 1F coin. If you feel that you resonate with most of the values of Lifechanyuan, then each 10 values to which you resonate can be valued and saved as 1F coin. If you long to go to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Islands continent to continue your life's journey after your human journey ends, it can be valued and saved as 1F coin. If you believe that by following Xiefeng, the tour guide of Lifechanyuan, you will surely become a celestial being, it can be valued and saved as 5F coins. If you understand that soul wealth is more important than spiritual wealth and that spiritual wealth is more important than material wealth, then this very important wealth on your life's journey can be valued as 1F coin. F coins are the currency of Lifechanyuan, they equate to blessings, welfare, and happiness. The more Chanyuan currency you have, the richer your spirit and soul will be and the happier your life will be. How do you save your spiritual and soul wealth in the Spiritual and Soul Bank of Lifechanyuan? Please write down a wealth list of the above 16 items, work out the total and send them to any of the following 7 websites, we will keep your wealth record. You can also send the details to any Chanyuan Celestial, who will then forward it to our admin personnel without omission. Lifechanyuan International Family website, http://www.smcyinternationalfamily.org. Chinese language website of Lifechanyuan, http://leafcosmos.org. English language website of Lifechanyuan, http://lifechanyuan.org, email, info@lifechanyuan.org. New Oasis for Lifehangshan Station, https://kingdomofgod.cn. English language website of New Oasis for Life, http://newoasisforlife.org. Chinese language website of New Oasis for Life, http://www.lifelvizio.org. Website of Heaven's University for Millennials, https://chanyuan.org. What is the value and significance of saving your spiritual and soul wealth in the Spiritual and Soul Bank of Lifechanyuan? One day, Lifechanyuan will arrange for you to experience our lifestyle as copied from the 1,000-year world to the human world. This is your ticket to becoming a Chanyuan celestial and entering the second home. When you encounter difficulties, hardships, and helplessness along your life's journey, Lifechanyuan will give you spiritual and soul energy. These are solid steps along your path to heaven. One day, when you look back on the path you followed, you will know the value and significance of owning Chanyuan currency. May you initiate your spiritual sense, and be blessed to have wealth in the Spiritual and Soul Bank of Lifechanyuan. Modernize streamlined production and the life pattern of the second home. Shuefeng. September 16, 2011. Let's see the roads and streets all over the world, all packed with endless flow of automobiles. I have a question, where do so many vehicles come from? The answer, they come from the production line of modern automobile manufacturers. Now a new car can flow out from the streamline of a large enterprise every several minutes. Or possibly a car can be produced in only 1 minute. Before the adoption of streamline, Ford Company spent 12 hours 28 minutes in assembling one T-model automobile in small workshops. After the introduction of streamline, the time was reduced to 8 seconds for each automobile, and the efficiency of manufacture increased by 44.88 times. The cost of production was reduced by nearly 50%. A small workshop can make only 12 automobiles in 1 year, but the streamline can produce nearly 100,000 automobiles in 1 year. This shows how great the power of streamline production is. What is the streamline production? Streamline production works by dividing a whole manufacturing process into different separate procedures, each handled by a specific person, and forming a complete finished product at the terminal of the production line. The workers on the streamline are only adept at the procedure they are doing but know almost nothing about how other procedures are conducted or how the entire product is manufactured. Thus, workers attending the streamline are all technical experts and elites. The advantage of streamlined production is the greatly reduced cost of production, the greatly increased product performance and quality, and the greatly promoted production speed and efficiency. Now a very ordinary car sells at only 30,000 RMB in China. With the traditional method of production in a small workshop, it will be impossible to produce such a car at this price. Now streamlined production has been employed to manufacture all kinds of machines and equipments, cars, computers, or mobile phones. The traditional method of production in small workshops has long been eliminated. Because of high cost, low efficiency, and poor quality, the production methods of small workshops can no longer meet the requirement of the market. Accordingly, we can figure out which is the best way of life for mankind, the small workshop type of life or the streamlined type of life. Let's make a comparison. The small workshop type of life is represented by the huge number of small families that live according to traditional customs, while the streamlined type of life is the life pattern of the second home in Lifechanyuan. In the traditional life of small workshop type of family, each adult must be an all-rounder and must do many things, like purchase, processing, production, cleaning, washing, looking after old people and children, reciprocating courtesy, dealing with people outside the family, and so on. For example, after getting up in the morning, a housewife in a rural area will first do cleaning, cook breakfast, take care of children and elderly people, then she will make haste to go to work in the field. After returning from the work in the field, she will pick up vegetables in the garden, wash the vegetable and cook the lunch, wash the cauldron and clean the stove, and after a short break she will hurry again to the work in the field, and after returning from the work outside she will go on to cook the dinner and wash clothes. These are only routine tasks. In addition, she has to feed chickens and pigs, and should take care of children or old people if they fall ill. A housewife in the city is even more busy than her counterpart in the countryside if she has a job or a small business. They live in this way day after day and year after year. What are the effects? Women living in hundreds of millions of small families are busily occupied in family affairs and do not have much time of leisure. Not many people can have an efficient and leisurely life. In the streamlined type of life in the second home, each person is engaged only in one job. Some will only take charge of cooking, some will only take charge of washing clothes, some will specialize in purchase, some in cleaning, some in looking after children, some in working in fields, some in repairing, some in dealing with the outside world, and so on. Everyone does a job that he or she likes. As a result, the efficiency is increased, the cost is lowered, and leisure time is increased, and the feeling and mood becomes more peaceful and calmer. Strictly speaking, in the small workshop type of life, everyone is rushing about to make a living, while in the streamlined type of life in the second home everyone is playing games for a life. Without the invention and application of the great streamlined type of production, it would be impossible for us to enjoy everything that we have today, it would be impossible for mankind to have a brighter future, and it would be impossible for mankind to enter the highly civilized society in times. Anyone who does not embrace streamlined production will be eliminated, and any production and lifestyle that does not embrace streamline will be eliminated. The conclusion is that the small workshop types of production will inevitably be eliminated and replaced by streamlined type of production. And the small workshop type of family life will inevitably be eliminated and be replaced by the streamlined type of the life of the second home. This is an unavoidable historical development. Or in another word, no matter whether you like it or not, the traditional family life is bound to be replaced by the life of the second home, and the traditional small family will be swept into the historical dustbin as a backward and ignorant way of life. Notice concerning the application for living in the second home. Xiefeng. December 20th, 2011. The second home is the favor granted by Buddha and the greatest creator to mankind, and is a fruit from the instructions, guides and endeavors of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, and generations of sages and saints. The second home is the kingdom of the greatest creator, the complete communist community, the transfer station for ripe crops from the human world to the heavenly kingdom, and the fairyland paradise on the earth created by pioneers of Lifechanyuan. To live in the second home, one must simultaneously meet the following 8 fundamental conditions. Has been a Chanyuan celestial for at least 6 months, during which one has always participated in exchange in the headquarters website. Has thoroughly read Chanyuan corpus and Xiefeng corpus. Has a good knowledge of the life pattern of the second home. Has donated to the home currencies worth at least 2,000 yuan RMB. Has finished relations with secular world and does not return to the secular family and society after settling in the home. Possesses characters of kindness, diligence, honesty, simplicity, and faithfulness, and loves labor. Unmarried, or divorced, or the couple are both Chanyuan celestials. Healthy, without any disease. Once you have entered the second home, the home will take full responsibility for your food, clothing, shelter, transportation, living, old age, and health. Therefore it is necessary to make appropriate contributions, otherwise what reason do we have to enjoy life in the second home? If we have not made any contribution to the home and yet want to enjoy the highly civilized life of fairyland, then this would be unreasonable and unfair, and it would be the life of a parasite. Anyone who has met the above 8 conditions can apply for settlement in the second home. Your application will surely be accepted, and your wish to live in the home will surely be realized. If you are Chanyuan celestial and want to live temporarily in the second home for no longer than 2 months, you need not meet the above 8 conditions, and generally the home will not reject your presence at the home. But you must go back to the secular world after 2 months. Special arrangements can be made for those who have contributed more than 20,000 yuan to the home or who have for many years been involved in online communication for the building of the home. Currently, your applications will all be accepted in normal circumstances. For those who have made special or great contributions to the home, the second home is your home and you can live in the home at any time without application. You just inform the home, and it will immediately arrange room, life utensils, and transportation for you. In addition, starting from today, anyone applying for residence in the second home can indicate in the application form the subunit he or she is going to live in and apply to the director of that subunit. The directors of the subunit can decide, without soliciting my opinion, whether to accept the application according to the above regulations and the living conditions of the subunit he or she is in charge of. They also need not ask for instructions or report to me, but must provide needed information to Chanyuan celestials in charge of the compilation and gathering of information. Currently Wenyuan celestial is responsible for the gathering and compilation of the home's information. It is hoped that all Chanyuan celestials know these conditions and that the directors of subunits arrange residence in the subunit strictly according to the above conditions. Please understand the second home of Lifechanyuan. Yixin. What is the second home? The second home is a brand new paradise-like production and living model created by Lifechanyuan, which has never appeared on Earth before. It is the model of the 1,000-year world of heaven copied by the founder and guide of Lifechanyuan, Xiefeng. It is a living model that best fits the ideals of ancient and modern sages and philosophers worldwide and common people. If all humanity lives in this way, humanity can enter an era of worthy people will fully utilize their talents. The whole world will be as one family. No one will keep lost articles found on the roadside and doors will not need to be locked at night. Everything will be in complete harmony. The weather will be good for harvesting and everyone will be happy, joyous, free, and blessed. The most significant feature of the second home is no countries, no religions, no political parties, no marriage and families, no husband-wife relationships. Each branch is a small family, and every family may have members from different countries and ethnicities who live together. In the headquarters of Lifechanyuan, along with 256 global branches, members can flow freely among them. Hence, the second home is also called the Lifechanyuan International Family. In the second home, all members within this big family are brothers, sisters, relatives, and lovers. Everyone loves and serves each other. The reason why everyone can live in harmony together is that everyone adheres to the 800 values for new era human being and the life procedures of the home. The purification of the mind through these values is crucial. Only a perfect mind can ensure the normal operation of the home's procedures, allowing every member to live a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life. What kind of life is the second home? The second home is a collective life where everyone works cooperatively, serving each other. It ensures that the young are well nurtured, and the elderly are properly taken care of. Everyone's talents are fully utilized, and resources are efficiently managed. All affairs and household chores become types of work. Each member selects a job based on their talents and interests. They dedicate at least 6 hours a day to work efficiently and strive to excel in their chosen jobs. This allows each member ample time for leisure activities, learning, and self-improvement. The second home follows the natural way, practicing holographic management, where service replaces traditional management. It's a space where 8 immortals cross the sea, each revealing their own expertise, and where those who propose take charge. Within this setting, everyone owns nothing yet has everything, and each contributes as they can, receiving according to their needs. Everyone functions as both a master and a servant. Building on the shared values of the home, every individual's personality, preferences, and strengths are fully respected, allowing everyone to express themselves, showcase their talents, and experience the joys of life, living happily, joyfully, freely, and contentedly within the home. The second home advocates freedom in romantic love and sexual relations. Romantic love is a precious gift bestowed upon humanity by the greatest creator, and sexual relations are the most elevated form of play among all recreational activities. They also serve as an effective means to perceive the nature of the mind and reach the wondrous state of extreme bliss. Therefore, fully enjoying romantic love and sexual life is the will of the greatest creator and an indispensable, inalienable part of a fulfilling life. Ensuring that everyone fully enjoys romantic love and sexual life, safeguarding their freedom to experience these relations to the fullest, stands as a significant cultural characteristic of the second home. The second home is also a place for life's elevation to heaven. Only by being baptized by the values of Lifechanyuan, perfecting the soul garden, can one live happily, joyfully, freely, and blessedly in the home. Only in this way can the quality of your life meet the standards of heaven, because the home is a replica of the living model of the 1,000-year world of heaven. If you can live happily, joyfully, freely, and blessedly in it, it proves that your life quality meets the standards of heaven. The foundation of the second home. The second home can ensure everyone's happiness, joy, freedom, and blessedness, and lead humanity into the Lifechanyuan era. There are three cornerstones. The first is the guidance of Xiefeng, the messenger of the greatest creator, the incarnation of God, Buddha, celestial, saint, and the founder of Lifechanyuan. The scene of heaven is in his mind. As long as the conditions are met, a heaven can be replicated anytime and anywhere. The second is a complete theoretical system, which is the Chanyuan corpus, Xiefeng corpus, and their essence, the 800 values for new era human being. These values ensure the home's development direction and the perfection of its operating procedures. The third is a group of Chanyuan celestials who have been nurtured by the values for more than 10 years and have participated in the construction of the second home. With their presence, the second home can be built quickly and enter a healthy operational track. The history and current situation facing the second home. The second home was born on April 18, 2009, and 12 homes were established in provinces such as Yunnan, Xinjiang, and Guizhou in China. Due to the overly advanced theories such as the absence of marriage and family and the freedom of romantic love and sex, the government did not understand or support us. Finally, the homes were disbanded on the grounds of an illegal organization, and Xiefeng had to leave China for Canada. However, Xiefeng is determined to create heaven on earth, so we purchased land in Canada to establish the headquarters of Lifechanyuan, a miniature heaven. Most Lifechanyuan members were forced to stay in China due to passport and visa issues, unable to participate in the construction in Canada. The entire creation process was intricate and complex. We have documented many articles and pictures, including scenes of labor, game visuals, life content, the status of Chanyuan celestials, and several experiences of being disbanded. Interested individuals can find more details on the Lifechanyuan International Family, Lifechanyuan, and Lifechanyuan New Oasis for Life websites. We also have channels and pages on YouTube and Facebook, frequently updating the latest developments at Lifechanyuan. Here are the links. Lifechanyuan International Family, English http://www.smcyinternationalfamily.org. New Oasis for Life, English http://newoasis4life.org/new/portal.php. Second home section of Lifechanyuan website, Chinese http://leafcosmos.org/bbs/forum.php ?get =369. Second home channel on YouTube, Chinese https://www.youtube.com/Lifechanyuan98. YouTube Lifechanyuan International Family Channel, English https://www.youtube.com/playlist?list PLZ7_fuck PCJ_CUNZE7F1 SVQCRWJ geek_. Facebook Lifechanyuan International Family Group or page, https://www.facebook.com/group/348983030899327. Since the founding of Lifechanyuan in 2001, Xiefeng pointed out that the core crisis humanity faces is the crisis of the mind. He foresaw the living conditions of humanity in the future under the management of biorobots, issued numerous warnings, and proposed corresponding solutions. Simultaneously refining the theory and practicing the lifestyle of the second home, over a decade of practice has proven the accuracy of the theory and the feasibility of the second home. Xiefeng aims to build heaven on earth, to replicate the scenes of paradise into the human realm. This is his mission. Chanyuan celestials aspire to build homes, to set an example for a new life for humanity. This is our wish. The aim of Lifechanyuan is to harvest ripe crops and usher humanity into a new era of universal happiness, joy, freedom, and blessedness. No matter the difficulties encountered, its unwavering determination and steadfast pace cannot be hindered. Now, for those who are spiritually awakened, for those seeking to explore a better way of life, for those dedicated to the sustainable development of humanity, for those seeking to rescue humanity from crises, and for those aspiring to elevate the quality of life toward heaven, there is a rare opportunity. Xiefeng aims to create a terrestrial paradise in Canada for 300 people and establish 256 branches worldwide, each with 30 to 300 individuals. This requires people of vision and wisdom to participate. Those with resources, land, strength, contributing to one of the greatest endeavors of humanity in this era, leading humanity into a breathtakingly beautiful new era. If you are interested, please contact us. Here is our contact information. Email info@lifechanyuan.org. Messenger group https://m.me/j/abai9dmk4e-1tq. Telegram group https://t.me/lifechanyuan. WhatsApp group https://chat.whatsapp.com/skz204 mrfjkbw6rph5xa. Series of the bright spots of the second home.
Simple, economical, firm. The three-character primer for the statutes of government. So everyone can live unperturbed and satisfied. The members come from all over the world. They have the same wish and goal. They communicate with each other and live in harmony. The quality of life sublimates very quickly. The home advocates that everyone strives to be the best and does the best thing. Improve their personal quality very quickly, and everyone has become the expert in his or her field. The environment is clean, tidy, and elegant. Bath taking is convenient. Great attention is paid to personal hygiene. There is no dirtiness, and disorder and sluttery has disappeared. There is no surly habit. There is no comparison, jealousy, resentment, and complaint. Everyone is both master and servant of the home. Freedom and love, and flirting without worrying about being interfered. Freedom and sexual love, without anyone interfering or gossiping. Anyone attempting to usurp the other person in emotion and sexual love is despised here. So everyone is free. Respect everyone's freedom and way of life. One is free and not forced anyone in the choice of celibacy or multi-partnership. Anyone who has the thought of a parasite and does not involve in labor for a long time will be persuaded to leave the home. Thus, the hardworking people have fertile soil to live on. Anyone who causes harms to anyone else's spirit, soul, and flesh shall be expelled from the home. Thus, everyone feels safe here. Everyone is free to come and go. Anyone who has met the requirements of the home can move into the home anytime. And anyone who feels the life in the home unsatisfactory can leave the home anytime. Everything goes on in a flexible manner. Special cases are dealt with according to the principle that Buddha has no settled rules. Buddha's rules are always variable according to the situation, and that keep the main and change the others according to the situation. Special cases will be handled properly according to actual situation. There is no ossified dogma. So everyone is becoming more and more flexible in thinking. There are network and phone connections to the outside world. Anyone can communicate with the outside world freely. No celebration is held for birthday and festivals. No gifts are exchanged. So members are exempted from many troubling matters. The second home has become a place where no one pockets anything found on the road, and no doors are bolted at night. For the past half year, no one has lost anything. Although the second home of Lifechanyuan has many advantages over traditional family life, it still needs constant improvement and should constantly incorporate new thought, new methods, and new ideas. It should make corrections of improper measures and adopt reasonable proposal timely. It should give up immediately any practice that is not permitted by the government and cancel and correct any actions that may bring trouble to the society. We hope that all Chanyuan celestials and people in the society will constantly supervise our words and actions and give us instructions. Just as the great man Mao Zedong has put it, we will take your advice as long as it is correct. Appendix Zixia Celestial's personal understanding. During the building of Lifechanyuan, one can pay back one's debt to the secular world and accumulate wealth in the heavenly kingdom. The second home is the best melting pot, where one can live according to the 800 values, transforming consciousness, perfecting structure, and accomplishing the quality of super celestial being is the shortcut to the paradise. In the second home, we can create joy and happiness happiness and work every day, we can devote our sincerity, kindness, virtue, and love unselfishly. And we can see the faces of Buddha, Bodhisattva, and celestial beings every moment of the day. How can we not feel the extreme blessing? With the perfection of one structure, the diseases in the body will be swept away unknowingly. There is no fetters of the secular world. There is clear consciousness. You have nothing yet have everything. All are like a game, and you can let yourself go. In pleasure and relaxation, you move toward the heavenly kingdom step by step. Seek truth from facts. Tell things as it is. Be open and above board. You will benefit a lot from this. We feel the space of life in the second home is becoming larger and larger, and the time elapses quickly in happiness and joy. We become richer in connotation, have formed independence consciousness, and strive for the best in work. While living in the home, we do not have any worry on the journey of life and life. All the honor belongs to the greatest creator. Amen. The economic planning of the second home of Lifechanyuan. CFA. June 21st, 2011. The starting fund for the second home of Lifechanyuan comes from my personal savings of $50,000 and the donations from sisters and brothers. After the second home went into operation, sisters and brothers made their contributions successively. We have never accepted funding and donations from any other individual and organization than Chanyuan Celestials. Now the home has formally begun operation. We are going to solve the problems of food, clothing, shelter, transportation, living, aging, illness, and death for more and more sisters who are entering our home. And we are creating a home with a beautiful environment where everyone can have a happy feeling and live a convenient life. How can we make a living and achieve these purposes? Can we go on just by relying on the donations from sisters and brothers? The answer is no. We will rely on ourselves. We will work hard and create wealth. Chanyuan Celestials never live on alms given by others. My plan is that by 2013, the home will create economic revenue of 10 million yuan RMB every year. I have already decided upon the project and have conducted market research and predictions. Specializing in plantation, this project will serve the double purposes of beautifying the environment and bringing welfare for the society. Currently, the home is basically self-sufficient in the supply of vegetables. need not purchase these produces from outside the home. The home has planted more than 10,000 fruit trees, including plums, grapes, chestnuts, peaches, and other fruits. They are basically enough for use in the second home. The home now produces more than enough pears and can sell some to make some money. The home has raised some chickens. My idea is that everyone has an egg every day, and this hope has been realized basically. As for the third branch, my hope is that everyone has one chicken's egg and one duck's egg every day. And this hope will also come true in the near future. As a result, we need not buy any meat from the market. The home need not spend money on fuels. We get firewood from pruning fruit trees. Later, when the need increases and firewood is short in supply, we can build methane pool. The manure for the vegetables and fruits are mostly natural fertilizer. We seldom purchase chemical fertilizer. The stool of the home can be put to use as the potassium fertilizer. In addition, the burned garbage, the waterlogged compost, and chicken feces can also be used as fertilizer for the land. The home will not buy any luxury items, and it will not buy any objects with a low ratio utilization. The home does not waste any resources. Vegetable leaf, not drop of water, not a grain of rice, not even stools. Only the company does not have very high profit, but can meet the daily expenses required by the company business and staff members. I tell brothers of the home jokingly that the home will have so much money in the future, not enough place to place it, and we don't know how to spend it. Only a joke. I know for sure that we can realize this without relying on the donations from any organizations, individuals, or the sisters and brothers of the home. Whole society and the sisters and brothers of the second home to see that a community that has a beautiful and follow the way of the greatest creator can miracles in the human world. I have written a song named The Miraculous Home. This second home is really a miraculous. Let's just wait and see. The media, the worthy people of the society are expected to pay more attention. Shuefeng, December 29, 12. Lifechanyuan has been in existence for 8 years. The communist community it founded has been operating for 3 years. Created a new way of life distinct from the traditional. This new pattern is very successful, deserves the attention of media, government, of the society. Mankind should be capable to provide a thorough solution to the contradictions between man and society and nature, so that different peoples can live harmoniously. Any conflicts, war, hunger, and every citizen on earth can live in joy, freedom, and happiness. And we achieve second home created by Lifechanyuan. Is by no means any form of religious nor is it any form of political organ, and even less any form of self-refined cultivation group. How is Lifechanyuan defined? According to the current situation, it can roughly be a big harmonious family. Lifechanyuan does not aim at a certain country. Instead, it aims at the whole world. It is very difficult to have an understanding of Lifechanyuan and life of the second home, because this is a holographic pattern. Nevertheless, and experience the happiness and peace thinking and pattern can bring to nature, species of life, society. Currently, there are nearly 170 in the second home, including the blind, the dumb, and people as old as 83 and 4. Most are middle-aged. They live units of the home. Through 3 years of practice, up the following 8 characteristics that are: there are no management. The home has not prescribed any rules, regulations. There is only one director to subunit, and there is no one else involved in the management. What a director does can barely count as management. The ordinary laborers who have taken up the responsible for the overall management of life. The directors to impose their own wills upon anyone. Everything goes on according to free will. The economic management of the completely holographic. There is no accountant or no one for supervision, and there is no office of any. There is no money transaction in the home. Second home, money has no use. Action of money involved in person to person, and there is absolutely no conflict of interest. Marriage and family have disappeared. People in the second home do not marry. Husband-wife relationship is canceled. Family relations are dissolved. Home are relatives to each other. Disappeared completely. Once in, each member shall hand over all his or to the home, and shall no longer of any private materials or article. Complete communist life is enforced in the home is wholly responsible for all of each member's life, including the raising of children and the care for the old people. The members serve and cooperate with each other in their division. There will be a person responsible for job in the home. People engaged take charge of cooking only. People with will be responsible for laundry only. Work of cleaning care only for cleaning. Involved in planting vegetables only with planting. They serve each other on the duration and division of labor. Base of the troubling chores that have been passed small family. To his capability, to each according. Members differ from each other in physical strength and in intent. As long as one has tried his best without supervised, he can freely get material according to his need. On the not waste. You can eat as much as, and it doesn't matter even if you can have 8 one time. The home does not, and you can go to the storehouse to claim whatever you are. The home will purchase these articles to satisfy your needs. Efficient and the second home is production. Construction and work are going on in an orderly and efficient. Once the work or construction is decided, it will be put into practice and greatest effort will be made to quality. Participation and labor has become the requirement for each member. He will feel uncomfortable if he is asked or not to participate in collective activity. There are endless game entertainment activities in the home. Have stayed in the home for more than half a year and dance. The home is harmony of crimes, with women in justice. Every subunit of beautiful, clean and tidy, and serene, and cozy. The relations of man between society and man harmonious without any contradictions. For 3 years occurred any crime, and there have any quarrels, fights. The home has already achieved which no one pockets in ground, and the doors are unbolted. Women enjoy a higher status. The home has comprehensively purity and human dignity of women. Who lives in the home on a permanent basis leave the home. Will the second home prove only to be another man, just like many utopianist communities in history, only transient glory? The answer, it will not just be a blue street. It has a broad and bright prospecting. It has powerful vitality. It can be predicted that in the near home will take root, blossom all over the world, and it is hoped that mediate and worthy people of this more attention to Lifechanyuan home. You are welcome to make feedback and survey in the home, knowledge of the activities held in the home. All committed to realizing the great communist society, where the can fully utilize his talents. The world is like one family. Lost articles found on the roads. Houses need not be bolted at. Everything will be in complete harmony. It will be good for harvest, and everyone free and pleasant. The second home is your home. April 15th, 2000. Translated by Tsandalian. Our home is the king labor of Chanyuan Celestial, place where people live and work. Also a home where one's burden, illness, and death are taken. It is more of a place where members are the highest realms of life and life. There's no boss or anyone in a. The spiritual guide and altars are the servants of all controllers of people's lives. One who has devoted their wisdom building of the second home is which means this home is your home. One Chanyuan Celestial Society asked me, "Guy, I like my current job and I do not know whether I will be allowed. If the home doesn't accept me, go back to my secular." This Chanyuan Celestial had a lot of effort into the building of the second. Though our beautiful home had disappeared, now struggling to survive. Difficult our financial situation. As long as the second home still exists, your home, and you have right to eligible to come back. If you share bliss and misfortune together, no vacant room to stay, let them live together. Nothing to eat. Let us make sure everyone has let us live and die together. Never refuse anyone whose heart and soul to this, and there should never be someone in us, including the spiritual. Every Chanyuan Celestial, as long as you devoted can home, either participating of the second home or donated to the, no matter what happens, paid for the second home. If you have been dedicated these years, no matter where second home or outside of the community get old, you can come to the second mission. Because the second, when you lose your job, helpless in life, when you suffer changes, or are at the end of you suffer a deadly disease with your job because of illness, come to the second home. The second home, there are brothers and sisters hand to. They should take turn. As long as the second alive, there is a space for you. Remember that anyone who anything to the second home qualified to live in the second home community life. Therefore, set up a moral court in their you lawsuit and judge yourself. Pursue is fair and so we ourselves must be favorable first. And enjoy the reward. Thought of trying to get things on the cheap, the fruits of others' labors. Give, you will receive. To receive you should give. If you have paid, do just enjoy freely. Just come as you like. You do not. The second home is your home. A home where no one pockets any fund and doors are not bolted. CFing. July 2010. Home of Lifechanyuan, the realm of life long dreamed. No one pocket on the ground, not bolted it. Currently, Tiang Jushintai, Xia of the second, he realized Sheng Long Gang will also soon be no one pocket on the ground, bolted at night. Doors, if you hot or open, and disturb him. You need not lost. Why have life a chain dream that mankind after perseveres? Yuan celestial of the greatest uphold values for man of second home, pattern of mankind wonderful. February 2012. Find the dazzling out of the traditionally and entering of mankind and family. Every fairly well and second home subunit founded about as several sub being today. Originally about more than 100, being more and marine. Every tidy and Yuan celestial other more and cozily, becoming richer and living spacious. Has increased more Chanyuan mind to live per home. Chanyuan select more and more mental outlook. Celestial state becoming increase or sublimate. Creates the smiles of people are diligent and competent. The sisters and permanently in the home. Home is becoming ill. Everything their work most play. No, there have been in cases of goof holographic myth. Their offense in the home. Rules are rare and on the third day there occur in physical confrontation party. Such incident home. The necker was a victim. Chanyuan value accepted by people. The second home to the most iron of mankind. One shall have pleasant full manif of nature. Third of the home is in the average entire mankind. We have basically it's one bedroom for the dozens of beds have all been built according to the of a 3-star hotel. Rooms here are more better than the standards. The subunits have been to the model of the heavenly king subunits fairylands. Is having an increased variety of fruits and eggs. Natural life is more colorful. They are reserved. Evening party of held once a month. Practically real that everyone innocently is children. Most troubling thing in family is which have lately in the second. People need no long troublesome household because all things have 2 subunits built, all 6 of the sub in China, that in the near future of subunits all over the world. Chief architect and the guide of it. Now living in happy, I have nothing for feeling great creation, happiness. Wonderful to live. Communist, perfectly wonderful. Signal changing. Day May 2006 Harar. Somebody told me that if I carry on or even I treated it as it has changed my life. Every day send us which can change life. Or not depend is ready for it. Make up one's fitness fatality life channel. About fate has fixed by our if life future we can do life channel. Always turn around no outer as a everything in the same way self or no interfere with it. Wishes for a healthy, free and the question is now there are 3 ways. Always life just laying above the ground wings for the rabbits. Noticeable about the meaning of space of the greatest. Try every mean the people whose structure yours. The answers Jesus, Islam, Taoist, or some others. They can, but the core of on the greatest creator. So the best ideal is going to greatest creator. This way can lead life. Problem arising. How can we go direct creator? Greatest creators. The system works. Answer is here. Lifechanyuan. Here the answers about the greatest creator. The meaning of life, time, and space. Also nice and trust of it. World who would like to Lifechanyuan welcomed by the ready in Lifechanyuan called Chanyu. This and especially in Shan Celestial Health of Sister Second Home. June 2011 of sisters and in the second home has been matter of my purpose patience of their sure that they done. Is there a way to achieve this? Yes, 3 ways. The fint and creator maintain a mood to practice Chanyu exercise every current situation. One Chanyu was found by men to suffer from a year ago has been restored to normal. A Chanyuan select gallstones is nailed. Without, it seems to him, celestial used teritis better and better. Chanyuan blood pressure are now every day. People in their edible garden also saw it. Now fewer and celestials get so Chanyuan coming more and more. There's still a long we can reach a state is completeness. I'm sure that becoming more and especially with becoming more, we will dream that our will no longer get. For the first way, sisters and brothers in good conditions are requested and pray Creator a course received. Way, I will pensively, freeland. Joyful and pleasant every day. The third way, setting up exercise similar in the cultivation of afraid that people in the government failing gong. Exercise has been potently the knowledge of life. This exercise carried out and have incorporated several kinds into this exercise, especially from the Wisdom Interior Sutra. Play, Dr. Huadawa's bodybuilding is setting up any focus on the connection between thought and movement. It for several and found that it had good results. Third, I have the health and brother in preparation that in the near future as the dream that brother will get sick. Is eager. February 30. My name and I am the guide. I reside our non-profit, the Lifechanyuan Big Family at Thien, Carib 7, British Columbia. We log get bed and breakfasts, which can be named into us online. A guest house below but is maintained by my Wong and my spring, summer, and autumn. Guests want to relax for the 2 of us properly. Really 2 volunteers because when the ice in the spring on our 8-acre mode continue, we need to spend much so extra hand of our guests. 2 volunteers plus. of receiving their needs, in charge of cooking guests and dinners for people, all accommodations and phone service, pay, or other. It would be good 3 months in commitment. Who are interested in national big fan inspired to take development of Lifechanyuan bus. Fist has 6 spectacular hatch, Highway 90 of our property. Review awards from 8.18 to next year. Make my grade in. Of our tenants are usually German. Manager. Caribou. 1 2 3 9 4 7 plus 1 5 0 6 3 log at Cena ht/uw.com.
Life and River. Feng. April 23, 14. Translated and edited by We into despair. Our huge had driven us to we did not know. Traveling thousands of we moved into Gobi Desert harder way of we are broken houses, meals, concentrated water, and dirtiest manual. We have journey. Having no holidays, all of chills here work every until night. Some of them have working, while working, too tired to faces and just and fell asleep supper. Eating, picking sheep, rush plant in the spring, wood for fuel, rooms and toilet. Every very important is the most valuable. Life filled with these fervor. Anyone select hard as they can, own hands to Chris. They planted our buds and leaves, vegetables are cleared away much cleaner. The wild geese coming here and those are twittering marises, energy and vitality. How beautiful. On celestials and romantic. Though the simple, it is broad range of they walk. Here is always from laughter. We have suspended, but alls like to joke and funny jokes that on celestial have so hard food when sitting bricks during supper. This is a children. This is a group of fools selfish. The wiring pillar. Celestials considerations. And dirtiest Jew. Bitter and salty drink. Live only for what tomorrow. They live, no matter what. Be as fairies in heaven. Burning the passion play. Get the time. Endless fun to be. Run hot elves to such life. Even you are still. Here is in the bloom. There, it is thoroughly, and purely so hard that growing and beautiful. It is tidily. Experience this kindly understand. This creator for ordinary life. It is a where impurity gold shines. As fire adversity ripened, and I grains into to fulfill it to me by. So happy that I. Behaviors of chills residing in. 9th, 2. Earth scrutinized, the way I will follow. Of Jesus will be the instruction I will adhere to. Lo be my code. A sage's remark is as clear as above and all. What I say is, like the everything. Do not desecrate, I revere not cause disters, I serve the interest of what I do shall be thee and demon alike. I always and love the thighs with the weak mercy. So practice a king, I shall vow in each inch of I tidy place to protect flowers I shall have a clean bowl. Contend with us, I shall have and consider others. Thrifty and diligent greatest contribution. Idry and extravagant not amass wealth. Protect animal and life, and avoid harm of. What are my relative, all birds accompany my life. I do gossips, and sees, I integrity, stay away. Do not envy, and do not rebels. Respect women, God over women, home. Be civil in vulgar words. I shall statutes of the crane from being a to my neighbors in this between whose temper over guests with be a hospitable not make noise, I shall speak not disturb thee. Piece of resentment look into my own shall not shivers but find out. Not engage in shall have a pure body, if it will be disaster. I shall properties in the home extravagance and is forbidden by I action in every one will be worth things in a runner. Work hard at puzzles, experience and shall avoid when people should be no matter where they come. The supreme in the universe, creator in his and prayer, follow the road ahead with things, proceed a cultivation and the way will walk on the way of all life being bright spots, 4. Ishin. January 2004. Translated and edited of Lifechanyuan. Revere the great, revere life, and walk this creator. When seeing these genuine for the thought, revere the greatest these for life and nature. Kind, so here, which means stay away with this did not really like. Later when I understood revere or perfect word reading part of that people who hurts are the very best. Why was it reverently tolerant? Stood that people hearts must be merciful and love all. Their hearts are and their lover must have found the great Lifechanyuan creator who create all life being. He is the God that daily life often understood. Created the universe and nature. Every life manages the running of birth and death of all Tao. Creates people on earth to do what we like is tremendous. If we can each other and love of nature, there will be very his will is to let the happy be and bless. The genuine walks on creator and loves all life exists and in nature. As mice, snakes, go, when we branch and ice in the storeroom, people asked our guy rat poips. Said, "Mives, they have, and they always, but wrong places." He tried to communicate, saying, "We moved in here, were created by and bestowed with, you would be better without people. Now you food and supplies affected our, so why not away where we will each other, but we people caught these, moved them to a place, without 2011 several acres of branch in Chu. When they birds came and but also ate. Sisters complained, you see so ripened after our, but now it is being smiled and said, they are eating the singing of birds. There are trees on the mount branch, red in autumn, learn it first and reddest party times we ate had been bitten with the fruits, especially for the, therefore of birds can our third branch, flowers are blooming on, it is real flower fragrance. These lovely are never if we stand in front of heads, and at that how awesome he is with nature. In the fourth branch, as most eucalyptus and were landlords, no birds at later we trees such as and fruit tree, so all kinds of many small birds, putting for their wind they came. So you can see birdie and happily in the, when I branched last met group of birds in the flowers then later I ripe seeds that I we had a hopes, wait, so most of our that we leave them and birds would have a, we all beehive specific, and although honey yet, life beings at first. We also built a specifically, and there are sets of birds that live by freely in the pit all. Even built a glass on delicate treats all plants with love. There are some fishes is responsive and feeding them is responsive water and cleaning. All life being second home most natural and beautiful because this is a hobby. Many example life, animals. If we find we catch them in grass or we on the slope, hurting their root, we know that treating is treating by the greater and every life own way. Life and production cannot deprive other lives and balance of nature. Because revere life, in Lifechanyuan and production which is the principle of civilization of realized harmony between people and nature.
No urban and rural, physical and workers and peasants. The bright spot, 16. Jan. 2000. Translated, edited by K. From the day society to a classes of exploitation now see all. In order to resist and depression, and more, mankind efforts and has formed theory and depression. This has been a process, bitterness and tears. His ideal of building and unified some true with the practical home of life. In the second home, equal, is no oppression as a laborer. Work one does, did and loved, and they can enjoy this big family has. In the second, never found inner to be of a managed. The guide is spiritual guidance. It's the reason for his requirements, but each individual to accept perceptions, never impose member. Daily life in the under the overall director. If some work, anyone can, but if the director will equal or will do, the director can do anything, consult or members in a friendly. The second home, director enjoy treatment or on the contrary, selves as city. When difficulties come first to make but when times are dan behind, same food, rooms, and for meals. They are absent all other. They are individuals and members who have needed material balance or wing of the community. They are natural people. But people are clearly everything they have done of perfecting quality, debts in this and for accumulating, for a beer, through the second home, opportunities, dreams, and never fear to any other. In the second home, classes of management, nor their mental labor, and anyone who serves in equal labor services are for, so there are no noble and high. The guide and the tool to all celestials, such as washing, vegetables, building house roads, managing websting grass and finding fruit trees, chickens and dodging the warehouse. Are equal, and there are absences between no ones. Myers loves those who always strive for, bear before, have beautiful, are diligent and polite, manifest their charity, beauty, love, and always bring freedom and happiness. In fact, to become such as to enhance, and it is for their climbing to the height in life. This is no different and rural physical labor and no higher or low. Everyone's loudly acknowledged, treated fairly, everyone's needs and everyone's life equal, longed for by has already come second home.
A beautiful edu series of the second home. January 2004. Sheen and edit. Final goal for a happy and blessed people every day and every year. Why? Not working for an idea. People have years, so some did it from an immortal seemed too far. Poet Tao, famous poet from Dynasty, a place full of, there is a Zen environment, simple and kind, but he is happy and grateful. When life is cannot breathe much for a place about food, shelter, and where we have birth, ages, or death, no anxieties, caught, but we can happily work not for my interests and special. We can do that which not what we dislike. When we've tired, all kinds of purpose,